All right. We live. What my boy, Classified 3L with Joe. What's going on today, bro?
Oh, yeah, news is breaking, so we're gonna sit here and report it. That's part of the YouTuber experience, right? Good with the
Exactly.
bad, the angry with the sad, the uh,
I mean, well, news has been broken by Josina Anderson, which is a credible source, and Bobby Skinner, saying that Joe Judge will be back. I know this is not popular amongst the fans, and I'm gonna
it
be honest
is
with you.
fine.
Me and this guy here are not popular amongst the fans as well.
Oh, well,
Eddie
you know,
said, "Oh my
I,
God,
I
they really kept him."
I
I
tried to
mean,
bend a little bit, say if we brought in an experienced coach, that way, I could go with that and get rid of Judge, but apparently that wasn't good enough. So I'm just gonna keep the stance I was with last time. Instead of trying to look at other people's views, maybe meet halfway in the middle. I'm not even going to bother with that anymore. So from now on, y'all ask me a question, I'm going to give my answer, and I'm going to stay with my answer. I'm not going to veer off of it. You guys can agree to disagree. You can throw temper tantrums. I don't care. You don't want my answer. Don't ask me the question. That's basically how I'm running from now on.
I'm starting to take that approach as well. But we can definitely get into it, man. It's me and a couple of guys like me and Joel that's been saying that, hey, look, there's a very good chance this guy is brought back because we need some consistency. We need this team to be able to build a foundation with someone. I don't care who that someone is, but this guy has been the closest to building a culture for this team and building a foundation for this team, whether you like it or not. Within the past within the past three head coaches prior to Tom Coughlin being fired. People are clowning me because I said this team quit with McAdoo, and they did. It was proven they quit with McAdoo. People are clowning me because I said this team quit with Pat Sherman. They did. They quit with Pat Sherman.
Well, they definitely quit with the Broncos because they fired his ass yesterday.
Exactly. Awesomeness Sports.
Hello, what's up? How you been?
Thank you for tuning in. I think this is your first time actually being on the stream. Looks like you're a Washington football team fan.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. Well, you get
That's cool.
congratulations. You kicked our butts the last game of the season. But
Yep.
this stream here, we're gonna be talking about Joe Judge being reportedly is gonna be kept. I
Oh.
just Joe Judge is gonna be kept. This is gonna be cause a lot of flack against
Mm-hmm.
what we call, I guess they call us Joe Judge supporters. Like, I guess we just because we feel that Joe Judge shouldn't be fired for a coach that's less prominent of a Jim Harbaugh or someone like that, a proven coach. We were both on record saying that if a proven coach showed his face to this franchise and wanted to coach this franchise, then yes, I would release Joe Judge because of some of the in-depth things that he's been doing as a Giants head coach. But people got to understand that he's learning too. He's a rookie head coach. He's learning the whole game himself. And I will say this. For
Mm-hmm.
what he did last year and had us in the playoff race last year, I don't care how bad the division was, because people are not poo-pooing Ron Rivera last year when he made the playoffs and he went in at 7-9.
Yeah, and even though we're 7-10 now, it's the same record, but it's
Right.
like for me, I just want a better record. I want winnable team, like kind of like the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? Or like any other team that's 11, 12-5, whatever. I just want that type of winnable record. I want that. But you can't get that unless we fill up the hole of
Yeah,
what
shout out
what
to
players need to
Tony
be.
B coming in the chat.
Yeah, shout out. What's up?
But
Oh,
I just want Joe to go ahead and give his process and opinion on the whole thing. Let's go through it. Mike, I'm gonna let you go through it. Thank you,
All right.
awesomeness. I don't know if you're a subscriber of the channel already, or
Yep,
if
I
it's your
already
first time.
subscribed to you, man. I already saw it. I was like, oh, this is a John's fan. Okay, let me subscribe to you, man. Got you.
Okay, thank you, man.
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
Always welcome. But go ahead, Joe. I mean, let's get into it, man. The stream is about people getting their opinions out. If you want to tune in and get your opinion out, your opinion's welcome. We'll answer.
Right.
So go ahead and get into it, Joe.
Well, yes. We've been arguing and fighting as a fan base what to do. Points get brought up, discussions get brought up, heated discussions get brought up. Some fans feel we need to go one way, other people feel we need to go another, and then there's another way to do it. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see what's going on with this team. We're gonna see if this was the right way. Do I believe that this is the right way? Yeah, I believe this is the right way. Or I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have been standing behind it as hard as I was. I see a team that was in dysfunction from the word go. Ever since Judge got here, it's not something that I thought was going to be turned around in 2 years. It was going to take 3 or 4. No team has ever turned it around in 1 or 2 years. You cannot draft that many good players. You do not have that much money because the guys the previous regime brought in. You don't have that cap room. You might not have them draft picks. Well, let's look at the Rams. If they're in it to win it right now. So if the Rams don't go to the Super Bowl and win it this year or next year, is that going to be considered an ultimate failure? And then they've got contracts and stuff that they're going to be signing more of, that they're going to have to get rid of, that are going to be 4 or 5 year deals. The Rams might be pitiful for 8 years doing what they're doing right now, but they're just shooting their shot. They feel the time is right with the team that they have, acquiring the talent. I mean, look what they gave up for Von Miller just for 1 season. He's a free agent next year, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
So they gave up a second and a third to get him for 1 season.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a draft that's got heavy O-line, heavy defense. There's some skill position players that are available, and they're not even going to have a shot at any of them. But because they're in it to win it right now, and if it doesn't work, look at all the talent they're going to be missing out on this year and next year. More power to them if they can do it and it wins them a ring. McVay's a genius. If he doesn't, he's not going to be there in 2 years. So the boy genius that everyone loves right now is not going to have a job. I don't want the Giants to go down that road. Acquire talent through the draft, which takes 3 years, 4 years. We keep bringing out that point, but not getting any answers on it. We bring up how the Bengals took 4 drafts to acquire their top 4 players, 5 players, 6 players. Built it through the draft. Added a piece here and there in free agency. That's how you build a team. You guys sit here and say you can't build through the free agency. You got to give a quarterback 3 years. And you said you could, people said that they could, well, I'll give a new coach 3 years. Well, why couldn't you do that when we hired Judge, rookie head coach? So another rookie head coach would have came in here and had the same problems with using timeouts, clock efficiency, getting his system installed, doing all the little things that you guys are bitching about right now. I gave Gettleman 4 years. You guys gave me hell for supporting Gettleman, but I never wavered. Never once did I waver. Because I got to give a guy the opportunity to show something. He didn't show anything. Now he's gone. Now we get another GM in here. And I have no quarrels or problems if it is Abrams. Because if it doesn't work out, it's so easy to get rid of him. And you know what? Now that having Judge, I really don't think we have to worry about drafting a quarterback with our first 2 picks. I think we get to fix the offensive line, which is something that we all wanted. We all want the offensive line. And with Judge here, I believe that the first 2 draft picks will be offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second pick might even be an offensive line. If not edge rusher, O-line, or 2 O-linemen. Look, because of the way that Joe Judge did the draft last year, or whoever did it, gave us another number 1 and a number 3 this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why we can't trade down, get another 1 and a 3 next year, maybe a second. Who knows?
Yeah.
We get more picks this year. We acquire more talent. If Judge can build a defense like this with Graham, now there's another question. Is Graham going to continue to stick around for another year? Are you guys going to have your defensive coordinator?
What's going on, Rodney?
Hey, Rodney. With Judge being here, you guys get to keep your beloved coordinator who you wanted fired after 6. But bring that up and I get shot down. Because as of lately, it's the last thing that you guys see is what bothers you. Instead of looking throughout the whole season. They put up a stat Sunday. Daniel Jones has an 85 QBR behind this offensive line. The rest of the quarterbacks are 44. And you still can't give DJ any credit at all. You can't give that kid any credit at all. You got everyone still running around Twitter saying, well, we don't have a quarterback. We don't have an offensive line. We got a head coach returning who's an asshole. Basically what everyone's saying. I don't like him. I can't stand him. No. I mean, I sit here and I try to give people facts. I try to sit here and give people an opinion. It's opinion based. I'm not going to lie about it. But you know what? This is America. I am allowed to have an opinion. You can disagree with me. But, to come at me all the time?
Yeah.
That's a little harsh, isn't it? Isn't that a little harsh to keep coming at me and Pat the way people are coming at us because we gave an opinion? And then you ask us another question. We answer that question, and it's still not what you want. So, it's almost to the point of belittling.
That's true. That's true.
And yet, somehow, I'm still sitting here doing the same thing day after day, not waving, not worried. I'm not coming off my ground. People want to. I got broad shoulders. I'm 52 years old. Seen it, done it, lived it. Most of it. The other stuff I just didn't want to do. It didn't interest me. You think I haven't been insulted before? You think I haven't been called names before? You think people have not come at me because of my opinion varied from theirs? Doesn't matter what you come at me with. I'm not going to change my stance unless it's fact proven. And you guys can say that facts are excuses all you want. You got to listen to both sides. But can't even get out the point I'm trying to get across before getting interrupted. People want to come at me? I can come back at you. I try to let things drop. I try to move on. Try to apologize, clear the air, maybe see your point in a different light. Say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe if we got an experienced coach, I'd let Joe Judge go. That wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. So I'm going back to we need to just keep Judge. I'm not going to waver from a point anymore. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. You can laugh at me. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. Not going to bother me. I'm going to sit here, call games. I'm going to talk football. People in the chat are going to ask me questions. You want to ask me a question? I'll give you my answer. I'll give you my opinion. I'll research it. I'll look up facts, articles. I take it 50-50 when it comes to the newspaper. 50% truth, 50% lie. Ain't nobody going to tell you the truth anymore. Nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. My feelings hurt? Hell no. I don't care. You want to call me a jerk because of the answer I gave you? You want to laugh at me because of the answer I gave you? I don't understand because you like a guy. If I say I don't like the guy, you laugh at me. Why? Why is that funny to you? I can't like somebody? Where does it say that I have to like people and be friends with them or whatever? It doesn't. I watch the NFL to watch the guys that I like to watch. I don't want to root for other people. I want to root for other teams. If you're not a New York Giant, you're not good to me. I don't want to know you. I don't play fantasy football. I don't bet on football. Learned a long time ago. That's when it starts getting personal. I'm not doing it.
Well, I will say this. Go on top of what Joe was talking about. What he's really talking about. This is no shot at anybody in the Big Blue Crew or anybody in general.
Right.
It's just that we have been getting like killed, like absolutely killed.
It's frustrating.
Twitter, Facebook. I've had people on Facebook call me crazy because of my views. Here on YouTube, it's crazy to have a difference of opinion because I don't ridicule anybody for their difference of opinion. I don't make fun of them or anything like that. You just have a difference of opinion. But it's different when somebody says something and then you take it to a whole nother level. Like if I say I want Joe Judge to come back, if we can't get a prominent head coach, just because you like Joe Judge doesn't mean you should turn my words around and saying that I'm saying that Joe Judge is a great coach. Me or Joe never said that. We're saying keeping Joe Judge is the right move because of stability. And yes, he has built a culture on this team. You can't deny that. You can't deny that these players are not still playing for him. They got beat 22-7. And this defense played hard all the way into the fourth quarter. This team was only down 6-0 in the third quarter, and our offense did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, your defense did something. I'm not gonna lie. They came at Taylor Heineke for a reason. I was like, dang. Every time. I was just like, yeah, your defense is good. I'm not gonna lie. You're good. Good game though. I give them props.
This defense, out of the 22 points, really only gave up 13 because they gave up a pick six and a fumble on their side of the field, which turned it to a field goal. I promise you, if this team quit, that game would have been 40-something to nothing. I guarantee you. There's no way this team quit and it was only down 6-0 in the third quarter with that offense playing like that. But if we tell you, hey, look, what is he supposed to do when they're on the goal line? He runs 2 quarterback sneaks. Yeah, it looked bad. It looked weird. But guess what? He's working with a weird offense. He's working with a quarterbacks that you say that don't deserve to be in the league and an offense that's the worst in the league. You guys agree on that. So what is he supposed to do? Oh, he doesn't learn from his mistakes. Well, in his press conference, he just told you that I did that because I didn't want to make the same mistake we did last week with Chicago and try to run it out the end zone and get a safety. And then he does the 2 quarterback sneaks and they punt the ball and the Washington football team does not score. They don't even get a field goal. And then they punt the ball back to us. And we get the ball on the 20 to 23-yard line. He accomplished what he wanted to do right there. He didn't give up a safety. He didn't give up a turnover or anything on this side of the field. They punted the ball, stopped the offense, and got the ball back. He accomplished what he wanted to do right there. What do you mean, am I defending that? He did not want to get a safety. He did not want to get a safety like he did the last week. He quarterback sneaked it twice. Yes, that was weird. But when they punted the ball and stopped the offense from scoring and got the ball back, isn't that what he wanted the whole time? Did he not get accomplished what he wanted to get accomplished right there? When I told you guys that every time one of these quarterbacks goes back, they were in the end zone. That first quarterback sneak, they were on that 1 yard line. After he missed the pass to Jake Fromm, Jake Fromm missed the pass to Eli Penny.
And then the false start penalty on the fullback.
Right. It pushed them back even closer to the end zone. The quarterback sneaked it once and they got to like the 3 to 4 yard line, and the quarterback sneaked it again. You know why? Because he has no trust in that quarterback. You know why? Because the very next drive or the drive after that, he threw a pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
He accomplished what he wanted to accomplish right there. He didn't give up points on offense, and the defense went out there that you guys say that quit on him. The defense went out there and stopped the Washington football team from barely getting any yards, and they got the ball back on the 20-yard line. Did he not accomplish what he wanted to accomplish right there?
Yep, yes, you did.
I mean, not for nothing. Like, what are we gonna do on any play with any player with an offensive line like that? The line just gets they get blown up every single play. What do you expect anybody on offense to do then? You know, like, of course we have to play it conservative, get a couple more yards so we can actually punt the ball, because we cannot rely on that line at all. It's pitiful.
Right. So you'd rather hand it off like the last time, or we handed it off against the Bears and they got a safety against us?
Yeah, we learned from last game. Let's not do that because we can't trust this line.
Right.
We could have put any quarterback back there to play. We could have put Tom Brady back there. And guess what? He's going to get his butt kicked by the opposing defense.
He would have completed it to that first play, the halfback into the flat on the left side of the field. Yeah, that he would have had some room to operate, but Fromm couldn't even get it there.
If we didn't get first down, he would at least got 8 yards right there.
At least.
So then he tried to set up. Then he tried to set up a heavy formation on second down, but the guy backed him up even farther.
Right.
What the
fuck? So you run a quarterback sneak? Yes, because that's the safest thing I could do with this quarterback. It was the safest thing he could have done.
Yeah, what else could they have done? Because they would have lost yards any other way. Or, potentially got an interception, fumble, or, just a touchdown by the defense.
Teams punt at the 1 yard line and get the ball off stop. Okay, so when they did punt the ball, did the Washington football team come down there and score any points? Let's get to some truths. Did the Washington football team come down there and score any points after he did those 2 quarterback sneaks?
Our defense is tough.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no doubt about our defense tough. We hold teams to 6 points for up to, 2 to 3 quarters. And then obviously they can only take so much of being on the field for so long. And obviously by fourth quarter, they tire out. The team is kicking our butt.
Like nobody is explaining that point to me. Does it look bad? Yes, it does look bad. When you do 2 quarterback sneaks, but did it not work? Did he not put the ball? The Washington football team got the ball, could not move the ball, and we got the ball back on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you guys did wonders. I'm not gonna lie. Tank, you didn't do anything. But
what is he supposed to do when you have no O-line that you can trust, and the quarterback is even worse? What is he supposed to do right there on his own goal? Okay, what would you guys would have said if he threw the ball with Jake Fromm and he threw a pick 6 right there? Or he gets a strip sack right there.
Oh, they would have been crying all over Twitter.
Then what do you guys would have said right there? Explain to me what you guys would have said right there if he goes back to try to throw that ball and he gets strip sacked or he throws a pick 6.
It would have looked better.
Yeah, or even better, he ran the ball with a running back and they got 2 yards and still had to punt.
It would have looked better though.
It would have looked better. Because it looked better.
Hello, gentlemen.
What's going on, Jeff? Hey, man.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Back, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
hello.
Well, I got to say this. It's been a very trying and hard season. Thank God it's over. And I'm only going to be able to be here for a little bit, so I've heard everything that you guys have said. Obviously, I've been tuning in to the streams. We all understand that Joe Judge is going to probably be back. Not 100% because there's still a possibility whoever the GM comes in from the outside that they could still make a change at coach. But in all, everything looks like that Joe Judge will be back. So at this point, I don't love the decision, but I'm going to back the organization. I'm going to allow Joe Judge to assemble or tweak up his coaching staff. I'm assuming Patrick Graham, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, will be back as the defensive coordinator. My hope is I would love to see Russ Callaway, that guy that we've been talking about, who has an innovative mind as an offensive coordinator. And I'm going to keep throwing his name out there. Give him a shot. I would not mind giving this guy a shot as the offensive coordinator and seeing what he can do.
No.
And we all have been saying it, Miz especially. It's time to go into this draft and this offseason and attack the offensive line. We have the pick. We have enough picks right now, 10 picks, 5 in the first 3 rounds. We got to make sure that we hit. We have to not only hit, we need impact top-level players, especially in these first 5 picks. So the first mock draft that we've all just saw, it has us picking Ekem and Linderbaum.
Well,
I'm still hoping that we go at least offensive line and pass rush with our first 2 picks, but I have no issue going offensive line. I'm assuming that Daniel Jones will be back. I like Daniel Jones. I think he could still be a good quarterback. Do I love Daniel Jones? No. I still personally, in my opinion, I don't think he's going to be the long-term answer, but would I give him another chance next year with a better offensive line? Hopefully a healthy Kenny Galladay, a healthy Kadarius Toney, a healthy Saquon Barkley, and other pieces added up? Absolutely. But I got to see major progress. I have to see a big jump from Daniel Jones. And I don't mean like 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I got to see this guy make a significant jump into becoming an upper echelon quarterback for there to be any question about giving this guy an extension, anything. He's got to make a monster jump into his next year because it's going to be his 4th season, make or break, because I'm assuming we're not going to be signing or picking up that 5th-year option. So I will be giving him that shot to put up the numbers with a better offensive line, with hopefully the playmakers coming back and staying healthy. Obviously, us adding a couple of other pieces. And also with Saquon Barkley, I'm assuming he'll be back too. It's time for him to put up or shut up too with a better offensive line. Because we all love Saquon Barkley, but this guy,
Marco,
even obviously had a bad offensive line, but it was absolutely underwhelming what he did this season.
No.
So I expect him, hopefully coming off the ACL injury in his 2nd season, he's going to come back much stronger, much faster, a lot quicker, and those lines will be opened up more for him to hit the hole. He's got to hit that hole. No more dancing. Go straight up the middle like some of these other running backs do in the NFL, like Austin Eckler, who's smaller than him, who is hitting the middle immediately, taking it to the hole and right through for a touchdown. That's what I want to see Barkley do next season. And as for the defense, I mean, maybe we can get ourselves for the defense. Mainly, I want to improve the depth. I think we need stronger depth on the defensive line behind Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. So I think Lawrence actually made a pretty good jump at the end of the season. I thought he played pretty well. Leonard Williams wasn't the greatest season he had, but I still think he did pretty well in terms of his pressures. He had a decent amount of sacks. I think we're going to replace Austin Johnson. I don't know if we're going to bring him back. Maybe at a reduced price we do, but I wouldn't be shocked if we let him walk. So I think we'll probably draft somebody in the mid rounds to take over for him. Linebacker, I really
He went out, Jeff. Jeff went out. What's going on, Marco?
Bro.
Yeah, man. First time seeing you on, Marco, man. Glad you joined the show, man. Just want to get some people's opinion. Shout out to Sean join. I just want to hear your opinion real quick before Jeff hops back on. I don't know if he went out or his mic went out, but he'll be back.
Oh, cool. Oh, I just want to give a shout out to you, man. Love the show. I've been watching for like the past couple months, man. I've been riding it out with this with this Giants massacre. It's
Right.
terrible. But shout out to Joe, man.
Well, thank you.
Channel 2. I'm gonna subscribe today too, man. But I just wanted to let y'all know, man. I just appreciate what y'all doing and just keep it up, man. It's a grind out here, man. I know y'all don't got all the subscribers like that, but I really like tuning in to people that don't have so many subscribers because, it's just a lot of yes man that's gonna just agree with everything, and y'all bring a different type of flavor to this New York Giants content.
Right.
But
we're not very popular right now with the fans, so
yeah, man. But my take, this got to be Joe Judge's prove it year next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's either win or go home, in my opinion. And I got roped in during the press conference like everybody else, and just to see it not turn out to what we think it was gonna be, it was just really disappointing. But I'm gonna give him one more year. We got 10 draft picks. We really gotta focus on this offensive line because we desperately need to improve on the offensive end because we can't get points. We are not getting any points on the board. So we really have to improve on the offensive line. I just hope the next GM comes with an offensive mind, because I'm tired of seeing 7 points, 10 points, 3 points. We need to to at least be in the 20s next year, or it's going to be a repeat. We got the offense, we got Jones, we got Barkley, we have Galladay, we got Tony, but I think we need to still, I think we need to get a second running back for Saquon Barkley, maybe even a third, just so he could just get his knee back healthy. I feel because I think we should really steal the playbook from the Saints with Alvin Kamara, just him not rushing over 1,000 yards. If Saquon could have a 700-yard rushing and a 700-yard receiving, that'd be really good for the team. He don't have to be 1,000-yard running, but that's basically it. We just got to really focus on this offense because the defense is doing this job. The defense is holding the team.
Oh yes.
And they bend but don't break. But then once they break, it's over. But they're breaking in the third quarter, because they've been on the field for the whole first half. So, but that's it. I'm just gonna still be here and and just listen. But I just appreciate what y'all doing, Big Pat and Joe. I tune in every day for y'all,
thank you,
man. So, bro.
Thanks, man. I always see you in
the chat,
man.
appreciate it.
You're always welcome to come in and voice your opinion, bro. That's what we do. We love hearing different opinions about the Giants because there's Giants fans all over the world. So you guys need to be heard too. So you're always more than welcome to come to the panel, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. And just don't worry about the negativity, man. We all have the same goal. We all want to win. We just want to see our team win. But we all have a different way of looking at it. Everybody always had an idea of what's best for the team. So really just don't listen to the negativity, man. Keep doing you, man. Joe, you too, man. Don't listen to the negativity. And just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I'm trying, my guy. I'm trying.
All right,
man. Y'all be blessed, man.
All right.
Listen, have a good one, Marco.
All right, bro. You too.
To talk a little bit about Marco and then what Jeffrey touched on too. Look, I get the frustration, and a lot of it is the offensive line. Okay, but now let's not forget the offensive coordinator is a big part as to what the offense does, how it clicks. We say that we see, other offenses, and I'm not disagreeing with people when they say they've got backups in, but yet they're still moving the ball. Okay, you're 100% right. But it just seemed that, last year and this year, there was no scheming from Garrett. It was always the same plays. Okay, and fans would just constantly say, where's the scheming of getting guys open? Why are we only throwing to half the field? And it seems like that we forgot what Jason Garrett did to this offense. We kept saying that it was old. It was not innovative. It wasn't big play. It was 3 plays to move the ball 10 yards. But yet nobody remembers all of that stuff. They just remember what they have just seen, which was a really shitty game from a quarterback that actually had his second start in the NFL, and expect miracles out of somebody that was at Georgia, a 5th-round pick that everybody liked because he had one good drive. And then, after they saw half a game with him, they're like, oh my God, this guy sucks. Well, yeah, he sucks. He's a rookie, a true rookie. Fields sucks. Lance sucks. Lawrence sucks.
Yep.
All the rookies that came out this year sucked. But you guys expect a 5th-round rookie to do great. His name's not Tom Brady. So when it comes to the OC, I like Jeffrey's thinking. But if we're saying this is Joe Judge's year to really improve, I'm not giving the reins to a rookie first-time college offensive coordinator.
I agree.
I'm bringing in somebody experienced. I'm bringing in guys that have experience in the NFL. And,
100%.
I've gone through, named some coordinators, like a quarterback's coach from the Saints. There's the other one from the Chiefs. I don't even think I'm looking at them. I'm looking at somebody that I can just let them run an offense. Will take my views, will sit down and work with me, and I can work with them, because I don't think Joe Judge is that taskmaster where he's saying, do it my way.
Exactly.
I think if there's progress on the offense, I think Judge is going to talk to the coach, throw some ideas at him, but he's not going to step in unless the offense is really horrible. So by getting an experienced offensive coordinator, and let that guy bring in his staff, bring in your quarterback coach, bring in your O-line coach, get the guys you need to help you do your job. I'm giving you the OC. I'm having you run the plays. I'm watching the team. If I don't like what I see, we're going to talk. Okay, but you've got to be able to take constructive criticism. Jason Garrett wouldn't take any criticism. He ran to his daddy Mara. That's what we have to get rid of. So while I get your frustration with the offense, not only is it about the GM, it's about the OC and the OC staff.
That's correct.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean. You have a spot.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good.
Listen, obviously, I'm probably the only non-Giant fan on here. I'm just a football fan, so I love watching all teams and talking to all teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wonder, given Joe Judge's I think everybody would assume Joe Judge is probably in a lame duck year next year if things don't turn around. How feasible is it for him to bring in a big-time offensive coordinator, knowing that that person may only be there for a year, given the fact that you got to move your family, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, I do think that's really got to be, a serious question. And I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, too. I do wonder if they just said in the front office at the higher level, listen, we're going to ride this thing with Judge and Jones one more year. We're not going to pick up. We're going to let the GM determine whether or not Daniel Jones' 5th-year option is picked up. I think most people assume it's not. But we're going to let the new GM decide that. And then if it doesn't work, then the new head coach will have the assets and the resources to bring in the quarterback they want to bring in and work with for the future, as opposed to tying him to someone that, you know, may not necessarily be their quote unquote guy. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. And then the other thing I would say too is how much input is Joe Judge going to have in who the new GM is? I think if he's got limited input to no input, I don't think that's a very good sign. But if, you know, Mara and Tish and again the head honchos are asking him for his input and he's providing names, I think it'll be interesting to see how much of their input, how much of the input they take from him in terms of who the next GM is.
Well, I will say this, Sean, you make very good points right there. Because if he is a lame duck coach, I'm not going to call him a lame duck coach. I'm saying he's a third-year coach going into his third year trying to prove that he deserves to get a contract extension after this year.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is he's had 2 years. If they didn't see anything from Joe Judge within these 2 years, I think he's gone, regardless of what he does. It was reported that he came in there and he showed Mara and Tish his plan going forward, and I guess they're going to feel that that's good enough to go forward with him. I believe he came in there with a plan saying, hey, look, I'm finna build this offensive line, and we finna run the damn ball next year, whether Daniel Jones is the quarterback or not. I think that's what Joe Judge wants to do. He wants to get in that heavy formation and pound that rock against you. And if he gets road graders on this offensive line, if Saquon Barkley could get 102 yards behind this offensive line currently, I'm quite sure he can average about 80 to 100 yards if you get some road graders in front of him. Yeah. I'm quite sure if Daniel Jones has shown that he can at least hit wide open receivers. So if this offense is half decent next year and he continues with the chemistry that he's built with this defense going forward, I think we can win some games next year. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we can win some games next year. And you just have to be honest with the coordinator that you're bringing in.
Right.
You have to be honest with him. Hey, Joe, this is Joe Judge's proven year. We feel that you're a great offensive coordinator, you're a great offensive mind, and you can work well with Joe Judge. You let Joe Judge talk to him. And if they decide to come in, you already know that we told you this is Joe Judge's proven year. But if you show that you got this offense straight and Joe Judge just shows that he can't be a leader of men, you may be retained. I would do it. If this offense is working good and you turn this team from only averaging 10 points to 23 points to 24 points, but Joe Judge just loses the defense, I'm keeping an offensive coordinator. Yeah, that's the way I look at it, because you show what you can do. Now we're going to bring in a new head coach and let him bring in his defensive staff. Now, is there a chance that he may let go if the new head coach wants to let him go? Yes, but I already told you that. So it's up to you if you want to take that risk. It's all about honesty. And if you're honest with someone, they can't complain if something happens. Now, if that determines that we can't get a prime offensive coordinator, I think you do go with Russ Callaway. If you have to go with Russ Callaway, because that's a guy that Joe Judge wanted to bring in. That's one of his guys that he brought in before Jason Garrett came in, and it was his system or no system. And like Joe said, he was able to run the Daddy Mara every time they had an argument or an issue. And Joe Judge wanted to get rid of this guy over a year, but couldn't do it. Because why? Because the guy was protected. So that shows you the limit of power that Joe Judge had in the organization as far as choosing the staff that he wanted, because the defense turned out all right when he got to choose the staff that he wanted. But he never got to choose anything on offense. And let's be real, Daniel Jones is not his quarterback. He never got to choose his quarterback either. And most things, when they turn around, the coach brings in his own staff and his own quarterback. That's usually what happens. And he hasn't got the chance to choose his full staff or bring in his quarterback.
Yeah, and I'll be real. I think part of the reason why they brought Mrs. Garrett in was because they wanted to have somebody on the staff who had previous head coaching experience that could help Joe Judge make that transition. So I don't think it was about, Jason Garrett's offensive acumen, because he really didn't have that much in Dallas, if we're being honest. I mean, he was the king of the claps, if we're being honest, in Dallas.
I never did.
So, I just thought it was more of We just want somebody who can help you as you transition from being a special teams coach to now being the top dog, who's got the experience, who understands kind of, what that looks like sitting in that seat. So, but I agree with you. I mean, listen, I do wonder though what's on the board from the front office standpoint in terms of here's what we expect next season in terms of improvement that we need to see for you to go forward. Does it need to be an 8-win season? Does it need to be a 9-win season? Does it need to be an offense ranked in the top half of the league? I'm that's what I'm curious about, and that's what I'd be interested to hear from, Mara and in particular, is what's the expectation? What should the fans' expectation be level set in terms of this is what we need from Joe Judge and the staff and this team going forward next year?
Yeah, Chris Bucco said Adam Schefter's reported that the Giants requested an interview with Bill's assistant GM. I forgot his name. I mean, he's nice. I would want me personally. I want the guy. I think he's the assistant GM over with the Ravens. I would like. I think it's Joel something. I forgot his last name. I would like him. And there's another guy that Joe researched that's been at every part of scouting, from the lowest part of scouting to the top part of scouting.
Yeah.
I would like to see him get an interview as well.
Yeah, look at Omar Khan too from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
He would be a guy I think a lot of teams will be on a lot of teams' radar, even though I think he might be in line to replace Colbert since Colbert's retiring after the draft.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dobbs is good too, Slay. I mean, that's all me and Joe ever asked, man. You come with an opinion and it's that strong, you're that emotional and passionate about it. Bring some research with you, bring some facts with you. Because we're gonna bring facts with what we have to come towards you. Joe said he wanted a new GM. Shoot, hit that one string. He ran off 20 people. I was like, damn, that's impressive. People don't even know he ran off. And it is like you can't run an organization, $1 billion organization, off emotion. I'm telling you, because if you do, you're gonna be right here where you're at. Every time that man mayor listens to these fans, no offense, blows up right in their faces. Every time he listens to them. Only time he didn't listen to him was when he didn't fire Tom Coughlin and get rid of Eli after their second year. And guess what? It turned into 2 Super Bowls. The Mariners didn't get rid of Bill Parcells after his abysmal first year. And guess what? They let him build, and it turned into 2 Super Bowls. So hopefully history is repeating itself again.
A question for y'all. When you look at the GM openings that just came open today, Minnesota, Chicago, obviously y'all situation. I know Pittsburgh's going to have an open GM situation, obviously, after the draft. Where would you think y'all's situation would rank among those teams with open front office positions?
Our situation, probably at the bottom. I'm not going to lie to you.
Dead last.
If Mayor is still putting his nose in everything, it's going to be at the bottom, because it doesn't matter who you hire. If Mayor is still calling shots behind the scenes, who's going to change anything if he's still doing the same thing? That's my honest opinion on it. Now, if Mayor steps back and lets somebody do their job, I say we're the top, because this team has talent. I think the only thing this team is really missing is an offensive line to be competitive. You put an offensive line with the weapons that they have out there now, even with Daniel Jones, I think this team is very competitive. Because if he can have an 85 quarterback rating behind the worst offensive line in the league, it can only go up, right? If he gets, say if they're middle of the road next year, it can only go up. But right now, if Maris still to his antics, I think it's one at the bottom. Because how can you do your job if somebody's butting in, letting scouts make picks, Like, that's crazy. I've never heard of that. The scout team made the pick for Matt Pert. So they literally called in and said, Joe Judge probably wanted somebody else. And they was like, no, the scout team's going to make this pick. Like, what the hell? We asked you to go scout players for us, not make picks. And that's another thing that needs to be changed.
Oh, I found him, Pat.
What was his name?
Ryan Poles.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember.
Here in the City Chiefs. Yeah, from 2009 to college scouting coordinator 2010 to 2016. Director of college scouting 2016 to 2018. Assistant director of player personnel 2018 to 2021 and executive director of player personnel 2021 till present. He's had plenty of years experience in the NFL, but it's questionable to consider him as the next GM of Big Blue. But he does have an impressive resume right there because he just keeps moving up, and they kept him on. And look at the Chiefs.
Right, and he's moved up at every spot. That is impressive. Animal Magic, what's going on, bro?
Yeah. Also, I throw another name out there. He's a retread, but he's been in New Orleans the last few years. Jeff Ireland.
I remember Jeff Ireland.
He's been a big part of them being able to kind of hold it together down there with all their cap issues. So I think he'd be a guy that probably has earned his second chance to be a GM.
Well, here's another name that nobody's talking about on the Colts. That's Morocco Brown.
A couple teams are looking at. They've requested to interview him.
Yeah,
they like him
but nobody here. That's why I say when everyone says I want a GM, they're like, well, they're only bringing up the names of the guys they see on ESPN.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good candidates out there right now, and there's some other ones too.
Miz, what's going on, Miz?
What's going on, guys?
Miz.
Let me say what I want to say here. I'm gonna tell this fan base one thing. When you're a New York Giants fan, all right, I don't give a two fucking shits who the coach is. You understand me? When you put on that blue, you fucking bleed that blue for life. I don't give a shit if they put the first woman ever as our head coach. You got me? You support whoever the damn Mara wants us to support. There's a reason why they're keeping them. That's fine.
Right.
Get on the damn boat. Don't give me the bullshit that you're not happy and I don't care and we're a circus. That's all nonsense, because here's the bottom line. Come week 1, you're going to be wearing blue and rooting for the Giants, and we will start a new season at 0-0. I don't give a shit. And if Joe Judge has some more time to build what he started, then I'm with it. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm tired of listening to people. Oh, you're a circus. This is a clown show. Hey, listen, man. You're a Giants fan. How the fuck are you talking, bro? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I seen 4 Lombardis. There's millions of people across this country that wish they seen half the amount. Some of them haven't seen any. Bottom line. And that's good enough for me to sit tight, and I'll keep on waiting. That's all.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say, man. I told you guys
news
I was torn, but I'm going to support the team no matter what. At the end of the day, it's about that blue jersey. We root for the team. Forget the politics nonsense, man. It's all bullshit, bro.
What's the breaking news, Pat?
Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is emerged as the top candidate for Giants GM job.
I'm not gonna lie.
Guy from Buffalo. That's by Adam Schefter. I saw that.
I want to see Monty Ossenfort get an interview. That's the guy with the Titans. He's the director of player personnel.
They're actually he's the main target. Like, if they can get him, that's it. Like, it's been reported that that's who they want. So I don't know if he works well with Joe Judge, or I have to do some more research on Sean.
Schoen, I got him right here, actually. I'll read what's under here. Joe Schoen is a member of the Buffalo Bills executive department and currently works as the assistant GM. He was hired in 2017, and since then, the Bills have been one of the best teams in the AFC. Last season, the Bills went as far as the AFC Championship game, which was the deepest run the team has had in over 20 years. Schoen learned under Brandon Beane, one of the most successful GMs in football, and would make a valuable hire for the Giants this offseason. So he worked under Brandon Beane.
That's pretty damn good. You know, the Bills have had some incredible drafts since 2017 as well.
I'm gonna say, yeah,
had some very good drafts.
Sorry, Pat, go ahead.
Oh no, you good, man.
Yeah,
but they've had
the
some
other day I
incredible
was
drafts.
kind of mentioning that. Like, it would be nice. It might not be a bad idea to go fishing inside the Buffalo organization, man. They've been doing things the right way.
But Buffalo, the Ravens, the Titans, Kansas City, any of those teams front office miss.
Stay away from the Giants and the Patriots.
Right. But the thing is, what I like about Joe
No.
Schoen, though, is
But
if
Sean
you
did-
can look at the. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say the thing Sean said is it is going to be hard to get a OC in here that's experienced for 1 year. But if that OC has belief in Judge and the draft and everything, he knows he's going to be here for more than 1 year.
Man,
If he feels that he can run his offense and Daniel Jones can be that quarterback for him, he might. I mean, we all say it. You win games in New York, you're a hero. And if Judge and the new OC can come in here and Graham can continue with the defense he's got right now, you guys are telling me that you're not looking at a 10-win team if we put an offensive line out there.
We got to hit on the draft. If we hit on the draft, then I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Hey Joe. How would you feel if Patrick Graham got a coaching interview with the Vikings and he decided to leave us? Like, do you think that'll set us back on the defensive side? Because I'm hearing that he might start looking for a head coach position.
I think that was if Judge got let go, he would definitely take a head coaching position. But if Judge is here, he's Judge's guy, right-hand man. He's the assistant head coach. I think Graham's going to be back with Judge. If Judge is here, I think Graham's here.
I hope Graham's not going to go anywhere.
Right. That might be one of the reasons why he's getting a third year too, guys.
Yeah, we need Graham.
Yeah.
I like Graham, but I don't like the soft zone. Like, to start the game, like, we be 10 yards back. Like,
well,
but if we get a good pass rusher,
getting beat on the first play, I would live with us getting beat in man coverage for a touchdown than us just getting a slowly death and they got the ball for 8 minutes in the first. Like,
if we have a strong pass rush, that'll negate that.
Well,
that's true.
This is what I would like to add. I'd like
ahead,
to get a pass rusher in this draft. I'd like us to go back to a 4-3. I don't know if that's possible under Graham, but I wish the Giants would go back to their 4-3 defense that they've always kind of been known for,
I missed the 4-3.
We don't have the linebackers to run a 4-3. We
don't
have the edge, the defensive ends to run a 4-3, unfortunately.
We don't got Pierce back there no more.
Because if you run a 4-3, who are your 3 linebackers? Smith, Tate Crowder, and
Martinez if he's healthy.
Martinez.
I was just talking about this year, like Tate Crowder, Smith, and Ragland.
And more than likely in today's NFL,
you get Martinez back, and then you go draft a good linebacker.
Yeah, and in today's NFL, you're in a more 4-2-5 alignments anyway, just because you got to have that third and sometimes extra safety on the field,
right?
Because of the league. So
well, Bradbury getting cooked most of the year didn't help either, guys.
Yeah,
I will say this: a lot of people got on Joe's ass about this too. He said, I would let Bradbury walk. And I'm on record saying it too. I would let Bradbury walk. I would save that $13 million.
Get the hell out
of here. I would let my boy Aaron Robinson play over there. Because now you are running man-to-man. Because I think Adoree Jackson likes man-to-man. And Robinson likes man-to-man. You guys forget that Darius Williams was playing well before he got hurt too.
Yes, he was.
You see,
As long as we have a
I'm
pass
one that would
rush.
like to keep Peppers. You know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I would like to one year, some kind of cheap deal for 1 year Peppers. You know, a prove it deal. I'd like to bring Peppers back.
But what's
If we can
Peppers'
get him on a
role?
bargain.
He ain't
What's his
really
role?
good at anything, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. He ain't good at coverage unless you blitzing him. He ain't serviceable in my opinion.
He really should be used inside the box. You know.
Right.
I
correct.
really believe if Graham is our, defensive coordinator still, his secondary work with the guys he puts in from the street, they seem to work out 90% of the game or 80% of the game.
Right.
So it's the big priority is pass rush. If we can attack the quarterback, then those cornerbacks and safeties are going to look really good because if they do throw the ball, they're going to be on them like glue.
That's true as well. I like the pass rushers that we have. I like Ojulari. I like Roche. I like Ederson Smith, even though he got a neck injury as well. But you guys are absolutely right. We don't have that guy. When we had those teams back in the day, Lawrence Taylor was that guy. Michael Strahan was that guy. OC was that guy. JPP was
Justin
that guy.
Tuck, too. We can't. Justin Tuck was the man.
Hey, Jesse Armstead was that guy too.
Yes, he was.
Jesse.
Like 5 guys through the 07 to 11. We had 5 prime.
And then we always found like good defensive tackles out of nowhere, like Chris Canty. He became an absolute monster on this team.
I don't like how he talk about our Giants though. I don't like Chris Canty.
He's just doing it.
It's for ESPN, man. It's for the media.
Well,
of the business, man.
That's a company man right there.
Chris Canty was actually drafted by the Cowboys, came to the Giants, and then played on the Ravens, I believe, to end his career. I never cared for him when he was here, to be God's honest truthful with you. I never did. He only had 22 and a half sacks here. That ain't very goddamn much over 4 years. He was always a fill guy. He was never really the starter.
True.
He didn't do shit.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk as bad about the Giants as Tiki did. So
Yeah, Tiki talk bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have Linval Joseph over.
I miss
that guy's still playing. Linval Joseph is still playing. All our defensive tackles were good. Robbins.
Yep.
Yeah. We had Hankins.
Christ, I even like Snacks. I like Snacks.
Yeah, Snacks was great.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of defensive tackles that we let walk. But it's like we lost our touch when it came to getting these defensive linemen. We lost our touch.
Identity. I don't even know what are we good at. I don't even know what we're good at, to be honest.
Well, right now, if you want to look at the team, I would say we're really good at getting the defense set in 2 years.
Yeah.
Betcher destroyed this defense when he was here his last year.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
All those Cardinal players we had, he just killed everything. So, look at the defensive side of the ball. That defense is good because, that's where we drafted. And that's why I wanted Judge to come back this year. You know what? If he can do that with the defense, let's see what he can draft for the offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I like the guys the last 2 picks. I can't help it.
I think he goes offensive line these first 2 picks, man.
Right.
I truly believe he does that.
First 2.
And then you're going to see his identity.
Yeah, if he's doing quarterback sneaks because he doesn't trust his offensive line and his quarterback, and he says that he likes Daniel Jones, I think he's going offensive line those first 2 picks. There's no reason why he should not go offensive line those first 2 picks because your whole offensive line has been absolutely trash. From Hernandez to Soder to Skura to Fredison to Price.
I got to get it. Oh, I got to get a clown mask. Somewhere I got to get a clown mask because I'm a clown.
Right.
I just wanted to come on because you guys already know how I am. I'm more about the Giants than any single individual. So I don't like hearing our own fans are trashing. We're getting enough trash from the media and other fans. We don't need to get it from our own fans.
Right.
So just get together on the same damn page. Man, you crying and bitching about this guy Mara, he did it again. He doesn't know it. That's not gonna change what's gonna happen. So Mara's gonna bring back Judge, which we all pretty much knew was gonna happen, no matter what people hoped for. Hope is just new. You guys there?
Yeah,
we
here.
got you.
Oh,
we got
Man,
you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us, Jay?
No, he can't hear us. He'll be back. But
He was on point.
He's right.
Yep.
Lamar, I think Khalil Mack is going back to the Bears, man. I don't think we could afford that contract. I'm just going to be honest with you.
We have like no money at all, so we really got to hit on these draft picks to fill in these needs. If we don't hit, there's really not much money we have to buy anybody, of service.
And Tony B, thank you for coming on the panel. I think this is your first time on the panel too. Thank you, man.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
I'll be right back.
All right. Go ahead, man. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I cut out. I can't stay on long because I got to do something, but I'll come back. I'm sure we'll talk later. But all I wanted to say was, look, I just want people are angry. Listen, man, it ain't going to change nothing. We're not the owners. Here's the thing. Just support your team. The Giants, I believe, will turn this around. If Judge is the guy Mara chooses, and that's the guy Mara chooses. Let's be honest, man. Judge hasn't looked good the last few weeks. But let's be honest. The Giants haven't exactly given Judge or any of the tools to fix this team the last year and a half. So you got to be fair. You got to go get an O-line. We know we got to get an O-line, and that's what we have to do this year. We can't turn or stray down the wrong road. If we fix this O-line, I believe the Giants, you'll see a different Giants team next year. I really believe that. And one of the biggest players is Barkley. Now, I feel bad for watching Barkley at the press conference. He looked very depressed. That guy wants to win, man. We got to get an O-line.
Yes.
I know some people want to trade him. We might get a big pick for him. You know what? Maybe you want to explore that. But for the most part, I think Barkley's coming back next year. You got to build an O-line. You want to keep on trying Jones one more year, you got to build an O-line. And you got to bring in another quarterback also to challenge Jones, a Mariota type, And
right.
But again, just to pretty much sum up what I wanted to say was, dude, Judge is going to be here, so people got to stop crying and just support the team. Honestly, it's not even about the coach, man. Of course, coach is huge. It's about this coming draft, man. We got to hit this draft hard. And it got to be a good draft for us. It has to be.
Absolutely.
That's really all it is, man. It's more the draft than anything else, man.
This game 7 in the NBA, win or go home. If we
botch this draft, it's gonna set us back a long time.
Man, for real.
This draft's our future, guys. It is. We have weapons. Now go build the trenches, man. We've been saying this for like a year and a half. This time, let's not even talk about it. Let's do it. So, you know what? We're going to put everything in Judge's basket. I hope Judge is going to go. Judge is not a stupid guy. Judge, just by the play calling yesterday, you could tell that Judge knows that we have no O-line.
Right.
So, just the play calling alone. You got 2 quarterback sneaks on the 2-yard line. It looks like we're a junior high school team. Guess what? Judge knows that O-line is going to get somebody killed in that end zone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. He said he didn't want to repeat the same thing that happened in Chicago. And
the only thing, Pat, with Judge, and I hope Judge is going to learn as he goes, Pat. Judge got to find less words to say to the media because the media is a piece of shit.
Yes.
100%.
They're going to take what he says. He's trying to be nice. He's trying to give an explanation. And they take that shit and turn it into a storm against him, as you see.
Yep. Yeah, because I saw that interview where Judge was saying, yeah, I'm sure you guys have listened to my rant last week like 7 or 8 times, right? He gave them the dirtiest freaking look when he said that.
Joe, look,
he did too.
Joe, Judge Mara should sit down and talk with Judge about that. Judge, should go back and watch some press conferences of Parcells and Coughlin.
Yes.
The way they talked to the media was they treated the media like they were garbage, and that's how you got to be.
I agree, Miz. And you know what? When he said I've learned what not to do, I think that he learned last week not to do that bullshit because you know what? You try to be nice, it comes back, bites you in the ass. I ain't doing it no more.
Don't be nice to these people.
Exactly.
Don't be nice to them. Don't.
I think he learned from that. He's like, okay, you assholes, I see how you're going to operate when I do something. All right, I'll fix you.
That's New York, bro. That's the media, man. They love to create all these stories yesterday, today.
Yes.
All stories to create a storm of drama, man. They love it.
Yes, they did. They got clickbaits. Judge is going to get fired. And then that Jay Glazer, oh, now it's down to 25%. Well, I guess Jay Glazer's a lying piece of shit now, right? Because he said
they
that.
All wrong. They all
okay,
wrong.
it didn't happen.
And these fans, even in the big blue crew, some of them just eat it all up. Just eat it up. Reports, players, they quit on Joe Judge. Some players want Joe Judge out. Okay, so why these players ain't coming out and saying anything? But then when we tell you that the players want to play for them, and then you got players coming out in that press conference to say, hey, look, I love the guy. We play hard.
They're supposed to say that.
Yeah, they're supposed to say that.
Right.
Come on, man.
I heard stories also late last night that some of the players are very frustrated with him. So you don't know what to believe anymore, you know?
Well, if I was O'Shane Zimenez, I'd be frustrated in it too. What do you mean doing benching my ass? Well, you suck balls. That's why you got benched.
I didn't hear what specific players said it. If that was him,
I don't either.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's probably, it's like the guy you fire is going to talk shit about you all the freaking time. And those are the guys that are talking shit. Those are the undocumented, reporters or whatever they call it.
That's like taking Kelvin Benjamin's word to heart when he talked about Joe Judge after he got canned for stealing food and
man, they took away my free buffet. What an asshole!
I think the stories I heard and they do make sense, was one, Galladay was not throwing the coach under the bus, but he's very down on the season. So we did not. He came here for no reason this year. But anyways. That's because we didn't have an O-line again.
I don't think that's true.
I understand where he's coming from if he's pissed off. But he's more pissed off because he's a competitor.
Highlight Blue City Empire Sports.
Yeah, he said
the defense
they got permission to interview him.
Yep, we got permission to interview the Bills guy, Miz.
That's good. They're going to probably interview a bunch of guys. The defense is frustrated, and we all know why. They've been carrying the team for 2 years, and the offense can't get its shit together at all.
Right.
But still, nobody on the defense has come out and got into a fight with the offense. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and that's just it. Judge was right when he said everything last week. Our guys aren't fighting on the sideline.
But again, Joe,
but it's okay to love.
He can't say that, bro. He cannot.
I know you can't, but it's okay to freaking say that Odell makes love to the kicking net. That's funny. Yeah, we need to keep Odell.
Hey, Joe, man, don't mention Odell, man. I still got to break about that. I still got to think hard about that.
You know what?
Going to learn how to deal with this New York media from this. I hope so.
Look, I get people have a soft spot for Odell.
Don't, man, please.
But
that was one of our worst decisions. That was one of our worst decisions.
I get it, and I know it's a sore spot for everybody. But if we were winning 10, 11 games, I don't think that guy's getting traded. But we were in such a bad spot. We were in such a bad spot. Yeah.
This is the question I ask. My bad, Joe, but
no, go ahead.
This is the question I always ask all the Odell Beckham fans. They say it was the worst move ever, trading Odell Beckham.
Oh, here it comes.
What did Odell Beckham do when you needed him most?
Oh man, you mentioned that Green Bay playoff game.
Yeah. That's unfortunately.
It was so bad. I don't even have to mention the game. That's how bad it was. When needed Odell Beckham the most, what did he do for you?
I got a video for Pat. Pat, when you got downtime tonight, I want you to go YouTube Mike Francesa. What has Odell done for this franchise? You go watch that. You're going to love that.
Oh, I looked at it. I loved it.
For this franchise.
I got another one for you. Look at Warren Sapp.
Numbers. That's what he done for us.
Okay, but look at Warren Sapp. When Vlad asked Warren Sapp, is OBJ great? And he turned around and he looked at him dead in his eyes. And this is a Hall of Famer. Everybody know how Warren Sapp was a bad dude.
True.
He asked him what makes him great. And DJ Vlad couldn't answer anything. He said, what makes Odell Beckham great? This is coming from a great player. This ain't coming from me no more. This is coming from a great player that played in the league and was that dude for years. He played with the Raiders and was getting 10 sacks. And he retired because it just wasn't fun for him no more. But he asked Warren Sapp straight up asked him, what makes Odell Beckham great? And the only thing Vlad can bring up was the contract. Because he said, are the Giants winning games? Vlad said, no.
Nope.
He said, man, how many times has this guy been injured? He said, a lot. He said, how many playoff games has OBJ gotten the Giants to win? None. But he said, oh, but he just got the contract. So he was like, oh, so it's the money that makes him great.
But he got them to the playoffs. But
no, he didn't. The defense got him to the playoffs that year.
Bro.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And
Okay.
Eli coming back in like 7 out of those games or 8 of those games, the final 2-minute drive.
I mean, Odell had some game-winning touchdowns.
Yes.
You know, he was the offense. He did provide the offense.
He was the offense. Yes. Yes, he was.
We're not going to take it away from him.
When you needed him most, what happened?
He went on a boat trip. No. I'm just kidding.
This right here kills me too because a lot of people say Odell got the team to the playoffs.
No.
That's a lie. That defense got him to the playoffs. That defense kept them in the game the whole game.
That defense was better than our defense these last 2 years, easily.
That's true. But I'll tell you this though, Pat. That year that we went to go face Green Bay, if the GM and the coach would have put an offensive line around Eli, because because they wasted the last 5 of Eli years. Like we literally destroyed Eli. Like people think he's a damn near shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame because of these last 5 years. Like I feel like
my bad. Go ahead, Marco.
I'm just saying I feel like if we would have just put an offensive line around Eli because he was making something out of nothing and Odell was still Odell. Just imagine if we had a decent, just a competent O-line. We probably would have beat Green Bay. We probably would have made a decent little run in the playoffs.
You know why we wanted to beat Green Bay even with a decent offensive line? Because they dropped all the touchdowns. We would have been up 21-0.
True. That's true. We was.
And you're going to say, where was Eli when we needed him after 2011? He was getting killed by an offensive line and throwing touchdowns to the man that you said took us to the damn playoffs. Who you think
highlight
the ball?
Highlight Chris Bucco's comment. Highlight Chris Bucco's comment, Pat. That guy that we were just talking about.
Eli was done after that 16. That's it. He was done.
Yep. You on to something, Joe. I like that guy.
Yep. All the guys I've been naming. Getting interviews.
Don't worry about it. I still believe in Mara, and I still believe they're gonna turn this ship around.
Me too.
I really do. I do believe that. That's why I don't get angry this morning. I'm done with this team. I'm finished.
Good. Go
I'm
be a
done
Chiefs
with
fan.
it. I'm not doing all that stupid stuff. Because no, you're not done with it. That's all fakeness, man.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, there's so many tantrums.
It's emotion.
So many tantrums.
Hey, you can ask. I know you're new.
Right.
It's good to have new guys in here. Definitely. That's great. Everybody knows me. I could put on a more passionate video than almost anybody.
That's the truth.
I'm not throwing a fucking tantrum because we're bringing back Judge. By the way, anyone with a half a brain knew that we were bringing back Judge from 3-4 weeks ago. Come on now.
Right.
Yep.
We knew that. We knew this. You know they didn't even meet today? That means Mara already told him a week or 2 ago, don't worry about it. You're coming back.
Right.
Come on,
and
man.
like, not for nothing, like Joe Judge, the way he started his career with COVID going on and all the uncertainties and all the regulations, where it's like, how was he supposed to build the foundation like that, especially with Gettleman digging us in the hole that we're in financially? It's a tough thing to balance. So I think with maybe like, with the new offensive coordinator and a new general manager and the right draft picks, we have a chance to at least be on the right road to being a 500 team, you know?
Right. And what was it, Tony? I never met him. Hey, Tony, I'm his. But listen,
What's up?
I gotta bounce back up. I gotta go still finish up and get my certificate, Joe. But I wanted to come on with you guys so fast.
Great.
So I took a
Love
little
having
break. I'm doing a class today, but real fast, what I wanted to say was I don't want to come off like a hypocrite. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Right.
Because there's intense guys on the other side of this, like Ash and Adam. And look, I'm not gonna sit here and make believe that part of me didn't want to bring in one of these big. And I told you guys the main reason was that there is some big names on the market that might not be there in the future.
Right.
Suddenly, there's some big name coaches on the market. So part of me wanted to bring in a big name coach and start up a new program, but. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite, but I also told you guys I wasn't going to be angry if we retained Judge. I told you guys that last week.
And I tried to relent, Miz, and say, okay, you know what? If we can get an experienced coach, all right, go for it. Fire Judge. I just didn't want, my biggest fear is firing Judge and bringing in another guy that is unproven, and we got to go through this shit another 2 years while that coach goes through his growing pains. All right, Judge has been through his growing pains. That was the highlight of the point. All right, you guys can say he sucks all you want. That's your opinion. And you know what? Post it. Talk about it. Chirp it up. We'll discuss it. I don't have a problem with that.
He don't suck. But what he is he's a young coach that's learning on the go.
Nah, Joe Judge sucks, man. I mean, like, I can't sugarcoat it. Like,
I can't say he sucks, bro. I can tell you Pat Shermer sucked as a head coach. Was he a good offensive coordinator for Daniel Jones? Yes. Was he a good head coach in the New York market? No. I'll tell you this much, and I know you're not going to really buy it right now, but I look at McAdoo, Pat Shermer, and Judge, and to me, Judge is the better coach of the three.
Right.
He's got more promise and potential. He just needs more time. He's making some mistakes because he's a 38-year-old coach.
Right.
But he's learning as he goes. I'm going to tell you again, I think this draft is one of our most historic drafts coming up.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I just feel like this whole year he had clock management problems.
Right.
Like he just didn't I think the game was too fast for him.
Well,
at some point
he needs some help. He needs some help. And I think him and Garrett never got along, so he wasn't really getting that help. I don't blame Garrett, but I think Garrett was never happy to be working under a 38-year-old rookie coach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We should have never brought Garrett to begin with. I always thought that was suspect.
Well, I think Garrett came in. I think that was a Mara hire.
Right.
Come in here. I want you to help teach this kid how to coach. But you know what? Garrett took that as really that he was really the head coach. Because, listen, Garrett been in the league forever. He's not going to come in here and basically bow down to some young, new 37-year-old guy, you know?
Why not just demote Pat Shermer to offensive coordinator? I would have rather took that.
But he would have never took that job, bro.
Right.
You got to ask yourself a question.
That's true. Okay.
You got to ask yourself a question about Pat Shermer. Was he not let go this morning again?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
He lost 2 jobs in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You got to ask yourself that question. There's something to that. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Maybe he's losing his touch. Who knows?
Yeah, then, but if Joe Judge leave next year, we'll be saying you got to ask yourself that question about him. If we go 4-13 again, like
I don't see that, Marco.
Well, if Joe Judge gets fired next year because we had another season like this, let me tell you something. That's a catastrophe.
Right.
We are in the more deeper shit than we thought.
But you get a fresh start after that, though.
Right.
No, Pat, but we don't like it that, Pat. That means we sat around, we knew what it was, and we wasted another year. So I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope not.
But
Miz, not really.
Someone new this year. What if the
not
same
really
thing happened with that coach?
Because
for Russell Wilson, if we go through that again.
Well, I got a question, Joe. I know what you're gonna say, but I already got the answer before you say it.
Okay.
What happens next year if the names that are out there now are
No,
not there
no,
next
that
year?
wasn't where I was going.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to go with, we got a GM that sat here for 1 year, knew what the coach wanted to do. Okay, he's going to know these players because he's been here a year. He's going to know this team, what this team would be capable of by watching these guys. He's going to know who's going to want, keep, who he's going to want to get rid of. And he's also going to know what type of coach to bring in here too, especially if it is this guy showing. Or if it is this guy from...
I know, but Joe, are these coaches next year, are there going to be any coaches? What if next year there's nobody on the market and you got some big names
you know
right
what?
now?
It's like the quarterbacks always move up in the draft. There's always a coach out there. Because I haven't heard of Lovie Smith's name brought around too much. I did hear a little bit
like
of Caldwell.
Smith, yeah.
Okay. So there are probably going to be coaches out there.
Zimmer.
What if Zimmer doesn't take a job this year, wants a year off?
Right.
Okay.
So.
What if there's coach isn't
I don't want to think that way, Joe. I want to think that Judge is going to get this ship headed up.
I do too. I'm a firm believer that Judge in his third year is definitely going to turn this around. And I really think we're going to be an above 500 ball club next year. I really do. Because I look, if we had an offensive line that could move guys, we definitely would have more touchdowns. Daniel Jones wouldn't be friggin' hurt. But our goddamn offensive coordinator has to make Daniel Jones run RPOs and get fucking hurt because he can't figure out any other way to get the ball down the field. And then everyone says that Daniel Jones is injury prone. But yet all the fans wanted Daniel Jones to run more RPOs. Miz, why can't we run a fucking bootleg? It's the same thing, right?
No, listen, man, if you're going to play Jones, right, and you're going to draft an O-line, which like we are going to do, obviously, enough with the RPOs. Do me a favor.
I hate them.
Throw them out of the book, please.
The main question this year, guys, we already got the coach thing figured out. I believe they told Joe Judge he was staying a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
That's facts.
It depends. It depends on what GM comes in here, to be honest with you. And what I'm liking about the interviews that they're getting, they may not be able to get an interview with the Ravens guy. I still like him the most. But out of those three guys, out of Sean Poles and what's the other guy? And Dodds, I may want to go with Poles. You know why?
Right.
Because I know he knows how to fucking scout.
Right.
That should be our number one criteria in our next GM.
I didn't even know that.
And if Poles is with the Chiefs and they rebuild that offensive line in 1 year after they gelled together, they rebuilt that line in 1 year. He was smart enough to give up a first-round pick to go get the left tackle from the Ravens because he was unhappy at playing at left tackle, at right tackle, I mean.
Right.
If he was smart enough to put that together, I think we got a guy that's smart enough to have a whole offseason to look at a slew of offensive linemen in a very good draft. I think he's smart enough to get us some good linemen in here. So I'm going to be real with you guys. If Poles get the job, I'll probably be the happiest.
I would too, because the guy from Buffalo, I'm sorry, Pat, but that guy from Buffalo, that Bills offensive line sucks. The Bills fans are complaining big time how that offensive line sucks. They can't run the ball. It's all Josh Allen. They have been bitching for the last 5 weeks. They were happy when they had, oh my God, what's his name? That damn Waffle House the third.
Yeah, but hold on. I'll give you the connection with Joe Shane from Buffalo. Number one, he has some type of connection with Joe Judge. Number two, he worked under Parcells and is very close to Bill Parcells for a lot of years.
Yes, he did. And
that's why Maras and the Giants are interested in him.
Right.
I would say this, though, Miz. I like Sean, too. I don't think that would be a bad hire either. But I do believe if Joe you got to give him Joe Judge a little bit of credit. I think he knows talent when he sees it. I think he does know talent when he sees it. You can call him a clown or whatever you want to call him, but I think that guy.
Welcome back, AJ.
But what's going on, AJ? I think this Poles guy. The more I'm thinking about it right now, because I'm a thinker. The more I think about it right now, that Poles guy seems a whole lot better to me because he's been through every single step of scouting, and that's the main thing that we need right now.
Yes.
What do you guys think about when you just think about it? Does this guy, if you hire Poles, does Merritt get his finger out of his ass Unless this guy bring his own scouting department. Does he?
That makes a lot of sense.
Hey, JDW.
Does he let this guy get some of his old buddies from Kansas City that won't higher paying jobs and let them bring some of those guys over and infuse some of that scouting that he's done? Man, Joe, man, I'm telling you.
I do. That's why I read it off.
Screams to me, bro.
Bye, Chris Mara. Bye. Bye, Chris Mara.
I think Mara.
I really hope that's the case.
Mara gets out of the way.
I don't think it's the case, guys.
I think Mara's had enough.
I don't think
he gets out of the way.
I think he still holds the job because he doesn't want to embarrass his brother. You see what I'm saying?
Screw him.
So I think you still let him have the title, but he doesn't do it.
Shit, fuck him.
Right.
That's not our family. That's not our family.
True.
That's his brother.
That's
and me personally, I wouldn't want to embarrass my brother like that. I would take his responsibility away, but I'll keep him with the same title. But everybody in the organization knows that he's not doing shit. You see what I'm saying? And the person that I have doing that job, I just pay him extra because I'm a billionaire.
But Pat, most people will tell their brother to go be the goddamn janitor. Get the hell out of here.
Nah, bro,
You see what I'm saying?
Nah, he can still be there. But he's got to take a step away. As Mara got to grab his arm and say, listen, man, I'm still going to pay you. You're still part of the organization. But I want you to step away. I want you to step away from draft night. Just hang out in the suit and watch with me. That's it.
That's right. Dave Gettleman got that phone number from Robert Kraft down in Miami. He's having a good old time right now.
I got another question for you as well.
I got one for you, Pat, after you go.
No, go ahead, Marco. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You know, guys, I got to run back in. I'll be tuning in and out. All right.
All right, Miz.
All right,
we'll be here.
Thank you for tuning in, bro. Thank you for always supporting, man.
First time, Miz. Hey, all right. Now let's say next year we win 8 games. Do you relieve Joe Judge of his duties?
It just depends on how the 8 games are.
Right.
Like, because I feel like. Oh, go ahead, bro.
If those 8 games is only because the defense balled out, I think I get rid of them because the offense never changed. You see what I'm saying? If the offense is still a detriment to the team, I think I may release them. It just depends on it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just depends on the locker room, the feel in the locker room.
Okay.
If I go in the locker room and that defense is still excited to play for the guy, and this offense is still excited to play for him, I don't know. I may keep him because 8 and 9 could damn near get you in the playoffs in the NFC. Real shit.
How do you know? There's also the fluke plays. I mean, guys, if we lose a game because of a 66-yard field goal, are you really going to hold that against?
Or offside Dexter Lawrence.
Well, okay. Or how about a bad penalty call late in the game?
Yeah. I mean, it just really goes on how the season went, though, Marco, because
we all know how we get that.
Season can go different ways. If there's 3 plays to where we could have been at 11-6 instead of 8 and 9 because of 3 tight plays, I think I keep them.
Right.
Okay.
Only way I would fire Joe Judge, I'll be honest with you. Only way I would fire Joe Judge is if he has another 3-14 or 4-13 season, then yeah, you gotta let him go because the proof is in the pudding. But if this team fights hard, if this offense puts up 20 points a game next season because of the changes that he made,
right?
Then I'm looking at it like this. Okay, what if he can make some more changes? What if he can get another piece to the puzzle the next year?
Yeah, because if the offense is averaging 24 points for the whole season, I mean, look, you're putting up 3 touchdowns and a field goal. You're moving the ball. You're getting productivity out of somewhere. Or are you not getting productivity?
I'll tell you this, Marco, to your question. I don't think Joe Judge can finish last in the division again.
No, that's a definite.
You can't.
That's a definite.
So is it 7 games? Is it 8 games? What I know is at the end of the season, when the Mars look at the standings, New York Giants better not be last in the NFC East.
Right.
Particularly coming off a season where you got 2 teams from the division who got in the playoffs.
Because I feel like we really shot ourselves in the foot because we really could have started off 2-1 because we would have lost to the Broncos and we would have beat Washington, and then we really could have beat the Falcons, and that would have changed our whole persona on the whole season. Like we would have been going into week 4 really trying to win because Dallas lost their first game, and like I feel like we're really only competing with Dallas in the NFC East.
Looking at the soft schedule we have though next year, Marco, that's why I'm saying 9 or 10 wins. You know, I think we should have 10 wins.
Yeah, but I just look at it. Last year, Washington made the playoffs. This year, Dallas and Philly made the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think the Giants as an organization can stand at least being in playoff contention in December.
I know this is going to come back and bite me in the ass, but Dallas played the 3rd place schedule and Philly played the 4th place schedule.
Right.
That's why Dallas could bounced in the first round because they have not because my brother is a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I was asking him like, name me the quarterback that's in year 5 or higher that the Dallas Cowboys played or even beaten, and they really haven't. They face really sophomores and junior quarterbacks that's in like their 3rd year in the NFL, and like that's not really like showing that you're a great team in the NFC. So like that's why I think there's like it's all fool's gold with them being 12-4 or 12-5 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm really hoping the 49ers just knock them out, man. I really hope so.
My guy Jimmy Garoppolo got him in the playoffs. I got killed for that one. Jimmy G sucks. Okay.
Jimmy G cool. I think he's just a clock management quarterback. What's the other word for?
Game manager.
Game manager. Yes. And but he took his team to the Super Bowl, so you know.
Right.
I tell you this, he will be a starter on 1 of 3 teams next year.
Yep.
And one of them will be the team in your division that has the beer can starting their quarterback.
Heineke.
Oh, damn.
Football team. I believe that. I think Washington might trade for him.
Yeah. I think that's they have to.
I got killed for saying that Washington was going to look at a quarterback in this draft. You know, you draft a quarterback this year, give up maybe a 3rd rounder for Garoppolo because he's got 1 more year.
Yeah.
You know, and then you let your rookie sit behind Garoppolo for a year or 8-10 games, whatever, do the Eli Manning thing, then let your rookie come out because they don't have a bad offensive line. They got playmakers. They're getting their defensive players back next year.
Yeah.
But I hear people in Washington calling for Ron Rivera's head too.
I think it's because he hasn't upgraded the quarterback position. He's kept
but all them fans were crazy on Heineke. He's the man. He's gonna do it. Man.
When he turns out to be bad, it's Ron Rivera's fault.
Right.
Yeah. He should be calling for that stadium to be torn down. Piece of junk.
Right. They should be sued. They lucky one of the people didn't get hurt because man, that's a major lawsuit.
Yeah.
They lucky Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt because I would have sued the shit out of them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Philly fans would have burned down the city of
man. They thought that rivalry was bad then. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
They might have to get security.
That show was close to his knee when that damn rail fell.
Yeah. Thank goodness he's a mobile quarterback because if it had been Brady, he'd have been out for the season.
Yeah, he would have been done. Brady would have been done. Shoot, yeah, Brady probably would have been on life support because man, he can't move that fast. But I will tell you this, guys. I'm liking that Pose guy from Chiefs a whole lot more and more.
Right?
It just makes sense to me, bro.
What's going on, Nate? I'm gonna be honest with you and Joe and like whoever else that really knows the GMs and all that. I don't really follow them, so I'm gonna really have to trust you guys. I'm putting my faith in Big Pat and Joe.
Oh boy.
because I don't really follow the GMs, man. Like I just really just see what's on the field, and like that's how I analyze the game. So like I'm gonna trust your word. If you say Poe, I'm gonna ride with Poe.
But you know the cool thing about that though, you're not going off the deep end
Look-
talking about you want GMs and everything fired, and then if me and Joe ask you, okay, so who are some of the candidates out there that we could hire once you fire the GM, and then you just come out and be like, well, I ain't looked at those names yet. Well, that don't make sense to me, bro.
Right.
That's not a solution. Maybe
Right.
because I have my own little business, I have to come up with solutions every other day. Maybe that's why I think like that. I don't know. But I've never been like that. Fire somebody and then
You gotta have a backup plan for that.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pat, most people treat their relationships with their teams like their actual intimate relationships. Like,
that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like marriage.
I'm breaking up with my girl, but you know, it is. I'm gonna be single for a while. Like, no. Actually, in the NFL or in sports, you have to have a replacement. If you say, "Hey, I'm letting somebody go," you can't.
Man, that's like me as a truck driver, just hopping into the truck, grabbing a gear, and going forward without looking at a road map. Where the hell am I going?
Yeah.
Do I have to go north, east, south, or west? You know, where am I going to get fuel? Where am I going to, sleep for the night? Where the hell am I going to eat? Take a shower. Where am I going to get rest?
I'm the type of guy I like to be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
Because, shit, I don't want to be out here butt naked.
Don't do a pre-trip at all.
You feel it? Like when I was working in corporate America, I knew that place was gonna get rid of all of us because they're going through the same situation Joe Judge and them going through right now.
Yeah, hey Nate.
I promise you, I can feel where this guy's coming from. You go to a situation that's messed up, and you doing your best to clean it up. There's some people in there that are cool, but they just can't get the job done the way you get it done. And instead of these clowns letting me bring in the people that I want, they got rid of all of us. I already knew they were going to do it. And guess what? The place is shut down 2 years later.
Right.
Because you brought in your homeboy that you wanted to bring in there because you wanted him to get a good paying job. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Right.
And you got rid of me, and I've been selling over $1 million for your company for over 6 years. And that was the only reason why you gave me the job, because you knew that I could coach these people to do a good job. Because I've been doing it since I was there. I've been doing a GM job before. I was just a salesman. People would come up to me and ask me questions instead of the GM.
Right.
And you got rid of me, and the shit got shut down in 2 years.
Well, that's like
that's
me.
What I'm afraid of.
I went and took a college class, how to build circuit boards and diodes and all that shit. Man, they were just showing me stuff that I'd done from previous jobs, calipers, mics, how to solder, how to read schematics. It's like, Jesus Christ, they took AutoCAD. I can draw this shit. Of course I can read it. Goddamn teacher get busy. I had everybody else in the class coming to me. I looked at the teacher. I says, "What are you going to give me some of your money you're getting taught for this bullshit? Because I have to teach everybody else when you're busy."
No, we haven't, Jeff. It's worrying me now.
Yeah, I'm getting worried too.
2 months. You said, can we interview Pep Hamilton for OC? I think Pep Hamilton is going to interview for a head coaching job.
Panthers are interviewing him.
I just saw that the Panthers are interviewing him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, OC already interviewing for head coach.
OC. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably end up with Carolina or Jacksonville, depending on who gets their head coaching job in Jacksonville.
Because you got to figure the Panthers are definitely going to be looking at a quarterback in this draft.
Oh man, they have no choice. Cam Newton came back and played terrible. Darnold is terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The guy played terrible.
Yeah, the problem is they're guaranteed. They already guaranteed Sam Darnold's contract for next year, so they're on the hook for $19 million for him already.
Right.
They can't eat that.
They gave him his 5th-year option, huh?
Yeah.
Bunch of dummies.
They can't eat that cap now.
That bunch of dummies.
That's a dumbass trade there by Carolina.
Right, because they gave a nice draft capital for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, because at this point now you can't eat the cap.
Yeah, he was hot for the first 3 weeks until they started playing some real teams. Shit,
Yeah,
they lost to us.
Matt Rule needs some help down there when it comes to NFL organizations. He's lost.
He's lost.
Right.
But yeah, but I don't see people clowning Matt Rule like that. And Matt Rule has had a worse time over there in Carolina than Joe Judge had.
Joe Judge.
I don't know if that would be true, but
them people were 5-3, weren't they?
How come?
Hey, that started 3-0.
McCaffrey went out. McCaffrey got hurt.
They
So a lot of they gave him a little bit of a pass.
Right.
McCaffrey got hurt.
And they went 0-8 down the stretch.
Right, yeah. But
so
it was,
when me and Joe say, well, damn, Joe Judge had a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, that's an excuse. I don't want to hear about it.
He had injuries to the offensive line.
They gave him a little bit of a pass. And again, he's on a 7-year deal. So they don't want to pay that, the remaining 5 years to get rid of him.
$62 million or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and not only that, how about all the people that wanted Cam Newton here at week 8 or 9? Yeah, he didn't look very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, not making fun of Cam Newton, but he just did not look the same.
Yeah, I'm hard pressed to criticize Cam because I hate when comes in the middle of the season.
Right.
He ain't been the same since the Super Bowl.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not coming at Cam. I'm not criticizing him, but he got awful quiet there with Giants fans once he started playing in Carolina, and he just his body, it's almost like it's shot with the surgeries and the shoulder. And
I remember some Giants fans
aren't going to clown Matt Rule because he isn't our coach. Well, that's the worst thing possible. You can't clown somebody else.
JDW, he's a Colts fan. He says you guys can make fun of Carson Wentz if you want to. Oh,
these guys lost to the Jaguars. All you had to do was beat the Jaguars in the playoffs, and you lost.
Choke.
No, they had to win. They could have won one of these last 2 games and guaranteed the playoff spot.
It was the Texans and the Jaguars, wasn't it?
It was the Raiders.
No. It was the Raiders, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the Chargers that lost to the Texans, and now they're out the playoffs. All they had to do was beat the Texans.
How about I don't hear anybody saying fire the Chargers head coach because they didn't get into the playoffs like they were supposed to.
And he called a bad timeout because I think the Raiders was going to let it go to a tie.
Well,
right.
They had game management issues all season, though.
Right, he always been going on 4th down.
Going for it on 4th and 13 on your side of the field, like stupid stuff like that.
Like, some crazy shit.
Brandon Staley was also a first-time head coach. Well, so's Joe Judge, but everyone wants him fired. Fire that some bitch too.
Yeah, and listen, there's 13-year-old kids out here playing Madden who manage games better than half these head coaches.
Exactly.
Well, look at McCarthy for Dallas in that game because of timeouts.
Yeah.
Them damn timeouts, man. Like, you could burn them in the first half, but the second half, you got to be real critical with them motherfuckers.
Right.
You got
to be real precious with them timeouts.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at his stats. I don't think his stats were that bad this year. It just didn't. I don't know, man. He just couldn't bring it home, man. That was crazy.
He actually had better stats this year than Ryan Tannehill.
First year Judge even had training camp. This is the first year Judge had preseason games.
Hey Joe, who you looking at far as like the backup under Daniel Jones? Because we need a competent backup.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I did want Garoppolo, but I think he's gonna be a little bit too expensive.
Yeah.
The sad truth is the salary cap. There's no room for like a Mariota or really anybody.
That's the problem. Oh God!
What about Joe Flacco?
No, I don't want Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
I wonder if we can get like Gardner Minshew, something like that.
we'd have to give up a draft pick to the Eagles to get him because he's under
I think we
contract.
have to give up a first round pick.
Okay.
Yeah, because what was it last year was Minshew Mania. That was his first year, right?
In Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He's got one more year left on his deal.
We can make Baker Mayfield the back.
I mean,
hey, that's another thing that killed me too. There was a lot of people saying trade for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
I was like, what the hell?
Daniel Jones is way better than Baker Mayfield.
Like, I wouldn't give up a 4th round pick for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it'd probably be somebody like, a Drew Lock or a Trevor
I'll
Simmons.
tell you who the
somebody
Giants
like that.
should go after, and he may turn into the starter. That boy Huntley from Baltimore.
We ain't getting him.
I like Huntley.
I'm
Huntley
telling
cool.
you, the Ravens gonna have to give that boy a good contract to stay.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give him a bag.
I'm gonna have to, really look.
I think he's got 2 years left on his deal, though.
No, he's a free agent.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a free agent
He
already?
was an undrafted free agent when he came out.
They didn't sign him to a 4-year deal.
Oh, wait.
No, because he was an undrafted free agent. Those guys get like 2-year deals.
Some of
I'm
them
gonna
get
head out,
4-year
Patty.
deals.
Nah, Ty Huntley's a 1-year deal.
All right, Marco. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Go
Thanks
ahead,
for
bro.
joining us.
All right, Marco.
Yep.
Now, Ty Huntley was a 1-year
Would
deal.
you guys go for like Jacoby Brissett? Just
I don't think-
throwing it out there.
I mean, he's a good
To his
backup. He's
caliber,
way better
yeah.
than what we have. So yeah.
No, that's what I mean. His style is more compared to Jones, isn't it? Because he really likes to throw from the pocket.
I
He
mean,
will
I-
run.
He's better than what we have for sure.
I mean, what do you think?
So he's
every
so they have his exclusive rights. So he's not complete. So Tyler Huntley's not completely free. They have his exclusive rights.
Okay.
So they can tender him. More than likely be like a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So if a team makes him an offer, then the Ravens would get that 2nd or 3rd round pick. If they the team signs him. So I expect that they'll probably do that just because they got to have a competent backup behind Lamar, who kind of plays like Lamar when you really think about it.
Guys, there's not
I
much
agree.
next year.
No, it's not.
I mean, here's the list, okay? Ben Roethlisberger retiring. Ryan Fitzpatrick, no thank you. Andy Dalton, no thank you. Nick Foles, no. Cam Newton, no.
Hell no.
Tyrod Taylor, maybe. Jameis Winston, no. Jacoby Brissett, maybe. Teddy Bridgewater, maybe. Marcus Mariota, maybe. Joe Flacco, Mitch Trubisky, hell no. Then it goes like Tim Boyle, Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne, Brandon Allen,
Simeon.
Mike Glennon, A.J. McCarron, Geno Smith, Colt McCoy, Chase Daniel, Brian Hoyer. It just gets worse.
Yeah,
Trevor
it's a tough
Simeon,
one.
Yeah.
That's.
Lord.
I think out of all of them, I would go with Brissett.
Either him or Mariota.
Yeah, him or Mariota. I think those two would be the most compatible to an offense that Daniel Jones would run.
Even Tyrod Taylor, I would throw in there. Those 3.
Yeah, I like Tyrod Taylor too.
I mean, look how the Raiders run with Marcus Mariota, though. Like,
Marcus Mariota
They
can't
can-
throw. We're not doing that.
nah, but
I know he can't.
They just usually just run with them.
I don't know, man. Give it.
He
Jake
is a
Fromm.
very- He is incredibly. If you want the same inconsistency that you get from Daniel Jones in the pocket, go ahead and bring in Marcus Mariota. He cannot throw consistently from the pocket.
No.
He can't throw. I know that, but he can run though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, you can put a wide receiver back there and ask him to run.
That is true.
Yeah.
How do you feel about drafting like a late round quarterback and just kind of trying to hope that they can become a career backup?
Oh, like a Jeff Hostetler?
Yeah, something like that, maybe. I know it's like really a hit or miss thing and its percentages are low, but it might be worth taking one in the later rounds, just to have. So it'll be better than an undrafted, Lewerke or the other guy we just had from.
Well, we've tried that with Webb and
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it never worked out. What's the kid from Syracuse? Got him.
Nassib.
Yeah, Ryan Nassib. Yeah.
And then there was who else was it? There was one more. The guy with played for the Spider team at college. There was a logo.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about I can't think of his damn name.
He's the backup on some other team right now.
Oh, Ian Rappaport retweeted Jonathan Jones' tweet. Per source, the Giants have put in requests to interview Titans VP of Player Personnel Ryan Cowden and Titans Director of Player Personnel Monty Ossenfort.
I like it.
All these guys that I've been talking about, they're putting in requests.
What was it, Jake Laletta?
Oh yeah, it was Laletta. I forgot his first name, but
yeah,
definitely Laletta.
Kyle Laletta.
Kyle, yeah.
The one that got the ticket for going off the op ramp when the cop told him not to.
Yeah, he did.
You want to know something that's crazy? People were cheering for him too.
Right. Right. That's my only problem. I mean, we've tried it, but you know, that was McAdoo, that was Shermer. I think that was McAdoo just trying to reach for somebody. They said you could have the 4th pick, get your quarterback if you want, one of those type deals.
Yeah, we also tried out with Davis Webb too.
Yeah, Davis Webb is playing for somebody right now.
I think for the Buffalo Bills. Yeah,
he's in the
2 minutes ago, per Art Stapleton, Joe Judge meeting with John Mara and Steve Tisch is happening now, from what I understand. So we'll see if there's any definitive news either way to come today. Entirely possible the talk continue over the next few days. That's Art Stapleton 2 minutes ago per Twitter.
Yeah, that could be a firing or a hey, help us find the new general manager.
That's what I'm wondering too. That's why all these names are dropping. I think Judge is in there saying these are the guys that we need to talk to. Let's bring them in, see what they got.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
You're always welcome to come on, Marco.
Salute to Marco.
Sure,
yes. Oh, Mike wants the link.
But I will say this though, that guy from the Chiefs, man.
Broncos to interview Chiefs Eric Bieniemy and Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn for head coaching position.
If the Broncos hire Eric Bieniemy, I promise you,
as a head coach
season. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love my guy, but whoever hires him as a head coach, man, I think they're gonna be in for a long season.
You say Eric Bieniemy?
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback.
I think it depends on who the quarterback is, but I also know that Deshaun Watson was really hyped about Eric Bieniemy coming to the Texans, and when they didn't interview him, that's part of what ticked him off. So wherever he goes, I think he's going to add that team to his list.
Gerard Mayo. Yep. Saw that one too, Jeffrey. And the Jaguars are also going to interview their interim coach right now, Darren Bevel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate, I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest boom or bust coaching prospects I've seen in a long time. I think if it goes well, it's going to go very well. I think if it goes bad, it's going to go very bad.
Right.
And I mean fire after first year bad.
What makes you think there's bust potential there? I'm just curious.
I think people are hiring him because of his offensive prowess. But you got to know that this guy's working under Andy Reid, and I really don't think this guy's calling those plays out there in Kansas City. And then he's working with Hill, Kelsey, that whole offensive prowess out there. So if you bring this guy expecting him to do what he's doing over there with the Chiefs, that's why I think he can get his bust potential. Because any team that he goes to, they're going to want that offense to be one of the tops in the league.
And plus,
I feel the same way about Byron Leftwich.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I would say to be careful about that, and the reason why is because Bieniemy is actually calling the plays in Kansas City.
No, he's not.
Actually, he is.
Is he?
Game. Yeah, he is. He's calling their plays. Now, again, Andy Reid has input because that's Andy Reid, but Andy Reid has even come out and says he calls their plays.
Hey, Wells.
So I think the bigger issue is that, again, the Matt Nagy situation looks like a flop. Doug Peterson ultimately not working out in Philadelphia.
Hey, what's going on?
So a lot of these guys who come up from Andy Reid now, again, Airbnb now being the next one, are being victimized because of the success that, or lack thereof, that the guys who came before him didn't
See
have.
what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I think there is some truth to that narrative, but I do think you got to be careful not to put him in that, because again, he hasn't gotten his shot yet. I think it's every head coach's success is going to be dependent on organizational infrastructure and how much say so they have in terms of how they're able to build their staff, how much say so they have in roster construction. All that stuff matters. And so I think that needs to be, taken into account. With Leftwich, again, Leftwich smartly has changed the system in Tampa to do what Brady does well. You look at how they were playing early last year. They were trying to switch within that Arian system, and it wasn't working.
7-5. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, so he made the adjustment, and they went on a run, and obviously they continued it into this year. So he's shown his ability to adjust to what guys do well.
All right. I get what you're saying right there, but that goes against the negative for me with Bieniemy, okay? Because he what has he really had to change, overcome, adapt? He's this is his first OC job, right, for Bieniemy in Kansas City?
Yes.
No,
his first OC job, his first time being a full-time OC is in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is his first OC job. Yes.
Right, yeah.
So he really hasn't run any other system except for Andy Reid. Yeah. Now I'm sure that he's smart enough that he probably have his own branch off of what Andy Reid does,
right?
Which is what most people should be doing when you're under a great coach like that. You should have your own offshoot,
right?
Of scheme, development, timing, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the one thing that worries me is he's only been in one system. If he's been in a couple and understands, this system and that system and what he could mesh together and maybe create, then I don't think it would be as bad.
I would say this year, I would have said that before this year. I agree with you.
Okay.
What you had to see them do this year in terms of how they had to adjust the offense, where teams have literally taken away a lot of that big play and how they've been able to be a lot more methodical moving the ball. I think he's shown, again, just the ability to adjust. Now, here's the other side. I don't want my head coach as my offensive coordinator / play caller.
Right.
I think that takes them out of doing what they're supposed to do, which is manage the game.
That's when we had Pat Shurmur using offensive coordinator.
And so I think that's where, again, if he goes somewhere, he and Leftwich both need to bring in an offensive coordinator and let them be the offensive coordinator. Yeah, have input, but let them be the OC. You manage the game, run the team, coach the coaches. That's your job.
Leader, man.
You're right, but I look at Matt Nagy as an example.
Yeah.
I'm really rooting for Leftwich. I've always been a fan of him.
I mean, I'm not trying to shoot anybody down. I'm just like, this would be my concerns with him coming into me, because I'm looking at Matt Nagy, who called plays for Andy Reid, really struggled.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I want both of them to succeed.
I do.
I want both of them to succeed, but I will acknowledge that there is a lot of boom bust potential between those two guys, man.
And for
because
the fact that
they're going to be under such pressure coming into those organizations, because they're supposed to be offensive geniuses, and everybody knows offensive geniuses have the most pressure when it comes to being head coaches, because now you're going to a place to where you're not just calling plays. Now you have to be a leader of the whole team.
Right.
And like you just said, that's a detriment to your head coach if he's worried about calling plays and things too.
Right. Now, there's the other, to your point, Pat, there's the other element that we don't really have to talk about, that those two guys bring into the room that their counterparts don't. And the question is going to be, are they going to get the fair chance to go through the process and to make their mistakes? And again, a lot of it's going to depend on the organization that they go to and how they're structured.
Right. And that's why I said the 1 year thing. I promise you, Sean, If that man goes to the Jaguars and that offense looks the same way, maybe a little bit better because he's a better play caller, but they still go 4-13, and his offense because of that quarterback is trash. I don't think he's trash. I think he's not. I think he's shown what he is. I don't think he's gonna get that much better. And if the enemy goes over there or Byron Leftwich goes over there, I promise you, they will fire them after 1 year.
Right.
I've seen
That's
it
not
happen.
a fair shake.
I've seen it happen. And just because we all know what the reason is, we don't have to go into it on the panel.
Right, yeah.
And if they go over there and that offense doesn't succeed, I promise you, bro, they're going to get rid of them.
I would say
did the Jaguars get rid of their general manager also?
No, not yet.
No.
Not yet.
I thought they did. No, that was the Vikings.
They didn't get rid of
that was the Vikings and the Bears that did
Yeah,
that.
Vikings.
Because honestly, their GM is terrible. They drafted like the running back, ETN or whatever his name is, and then they had the 1,000-yard rusher that played all season.
Yeah, Robinson. Well, that was so
They-
clear, Tony.
they're going to keep him.
Had control of the 53. It wasn't-
Last time I saw, they're going to keep him,
I
but he's
wasn't
got
sure.
an underling or he's got a co-GM with him to help him learn or grow. They're doing something stupid down there.
But and I would say, Pat, to your point, your previous point, those coaches, those 1-year coaches, were often defensive guys. They tend to give the offensive guys a little more leeway just because of where the league is. And again, if you're Jacksonville and you're hiring Bieniemy or Byron Leftwich or Jim Caldwell, who's an offensive guy, you're tying them to Trevor Lawrence. You're saying we think this is the guy who can get Trevor Lawrence to the level we think he's going to get to. What hurt Matt Nagy was not that he didn't have some playoff success, because he did. What hurt Matt Nagy was he got 2 first-round quarterbacks, or guys they deemed first-round quarterbacks, and he didn't show any progress with any one of them.
Yep.
But he's supposed to be an
because they
offensive
didn't build the
guru.
offensive line.
Exactly.
They never built the offensive line.
Right, yeah.
And they
And that's
made the
all
wrong
right.
decision and traded up for Mitch Trubisky. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That was the wrong decision.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
But I think he got it right with Justin Fields. It's just that it bit him in the ass because he never built the offensive line.
Yeah, but but again, when you watch Justin Fields this year, if you watched him, you didn't really see like incremental serious growth from Justin Fields like you saw from Jalen Hurts, for example, in Philly. And I think that's what ultimately cost Matt Nagy the job. You know, the offensive line, we know it's not good, but half the teams in the league don't have a good offensive line. It's are you showing growth in other areas? And we know we got to fix the offensive line. And Matt Nagy didn't show the one thing he needed to show this year, which was, I'm the guy that can help Justin Fields become what we brought him in to be. Why we traded our first-round pick next year to the Giants to get him. He didn't show that. So I think that's
that probably could have got him fired too, losing that extra first-round pick.
Well, that's Ryan Pace. Yeah, that's because it's now a top 10 pick.
Thank you, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, for that first round pick.
Right. But I will say this. Our kind don't really get fair shakes when it comes to head coach. They just fired the Dolphins coach.
Yeah.
And
Flores.
That was unbelievable.
When you think about like the coaches that we're talking about, in my honest opinion, I truly believe if I had to find a coach, I would want to take Graham out of the 3. He's the defensive guy, but I mean, he's been proven to take nothing and turn it into something that's functional. And everybody else, like on offense, they always had like these nice weapons, these nice shiny toys that they got to play with. Graham had honestly nothing, really bad contracts and some subpar players, and he literally molded them into, honestly, I think a top 50, whatever you want to call it, 50% of the league. They're better.
I mean, that's true too. I like Patrick Graham. I think he'll actually be a decent head coach if you put him in a good situation. But I don't know too many head coaches that could have came here to New York and turned this around in 2 years.
No.
The storm that we had going over here. I don't know too many coaches that could have done that.
especially not first timers.
But
I mean, I think what it is. Yeah, I agree with that. I think what you got to see, even if you're not a playoff team every year, is incremental progress.
Right.
And again, I go back to Jim Fossil. Jim Fossil was not a great head coach in the truest sense. He was a good head coach, but not a great head coach. But what you tended to see from him was areas where the team did show incremental progress. And then obviously getting to the Super Bowl that year, helped. But there was progress. But he was only going to take him so far, and then you get Coughlin, and we know how that went. So I just think it's a matter of are you showing incremental progress?
Yeah, and people don't understand what progress is. They think you're either supposed to have it all or you don't got nothing.
Right.
And that's why a lot of these coaches get fired and they go on to different places and have success. That's why a lot of players. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say Dan Orlovsky's running his mouth on First Take on Twitter. I'd believe you more if you hadn't run out the end of the back end of the end zone, give a 2-point safety, you dumbass. I'm supposed to listen to you tell me the judge ain't supposed to come back. Get out of here.
I mean, Dan Orlovsky talking about the Giants. Way too much.
If I had one piece of advice for Joe Judge, stop trying to win the press conference.
Yeah, I think he learned that. I do. I watched that last conference, and he says, I tried explaining last week, and I'm sure you guys listened to it 7 times, and he gave them the dirtiest freaking look. He's like, yeah, that shit ain't going to happen again. Stick it in your ass.
Yeah, you can't.
Right. You know what? He just tried to be a nice friggin' guy. That's all he did. And everyone just crushed him for it. Like people don't explain themselves. Oh, he's trying to explain himself. Oh, he looks like a clown. I get to put makeup on him. But if you try to do that, they're belittling me. I need a safety pin. Where's my safe space? Oh, he belittled me. Oh, he was mean. He was brutal. Shut up, stupid.
Like, it's crazy that people would do that. They would go, and you don't think his family sees that? You don't think his kids see that?
Hey, True Love.
Shout out to True Love from Twitch. He says, fire him. Did you see the quarterback sneak? Yes, I saw both of them, actually.
Right.
And I was fair to ask you, did Washington score after they punt the ball? Did he accomplish his goal that he wanted to do in that point in time? So what makes that situation better? If he throws the ball and it's an incomplete pass and they punt the ball and that happens, does that make it better for you? Or if they run the ball and get 1 yard and then they punt the ball and that happens. So that makes it a whole lot better. What if I told you that 3 plays later, Jake Fromm threw a pick 6, which I said he would do if you make him throw that ball.
Right.
I literally said that. I said, I don't know why he's quarterback. He doesn't want to throw the fucking ball. He doesn't trust anybody out there. And literally 4 plays later, that man throws a pick 6.
Yo, that was funny as hell.
And then it's crazy.
Thought that shit out.
He doesn't throw that pick 6. We could have been leading 7-6.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We could have been leading 7-6. He doesn't throw that pick 6.
That's how hard that defense is playing for that guy. The offense barely had 50 yards the first half. I truly believe.
Right.
And they were down 6-0. And guess what? He threw a pick 6, and he just fumbled the ball for no reason and gave up another field goal.
Nobody even touched him.
Nobody even touched him. He just dropped the ball. That man literally gave up 9 points of the 22 points Jake Fromm gave up. And so this defense literally got beat 13-7. For a team that's given up, a team that doesn't want to play for him, all these reports coming out, all the team hates Joe Judge, players coming out.
What the hell is he has to do with that?
If this team didn't want to play for Joe Judge, why the fuck would Leonard Williams come back after he hurt his elbow? He could have called it the season. It was over with. It was over with.
Yeah.
Why would he come back and play? He didn't have to play. He could have collected his money and chilled the fuck out. Got his golf clubs and left.
Okay, so now we're going to go on with Galladay. Let's change topics.
What makes it so bad? Galladay is the guy that y'all say sucks. We paid a $72 million receiver and he has no touchdown. But when a report comes out that he was one of the players that said he doesn't want to play for Joe Judge, you see? But you just said this dude sucks. He doesn't even deserve the contract that he got. But if it goes to your opinion on Joe Judge, now he's credible.
Mm-hmm. No
That's
sense.
absolutely insane to me. But every time another player comes out that says I love playing for the guy, Saquon Barkley, he looks sad in his interviews, but he said it's definitely different around here. I want to come out and play. I want to come out and play the last 2 games where it really doesn't mean anything. And I could just sit on my ass and avoid injury and wait till next year, but I want to go out there and try to get 100 yards again. Dexter Lawrence comes out and say he loves the guy. You clown him for saying that players that may not be here next year are actually coming to him damn near almost begging him to stay. And then Lorenzo Carter comes out and says, hell yeah, I want to still be a Giant.
Right.
Everybody knows Lorenzo Carter is one of those guys that's gone.
Right.
Even Evan Ingram.
Yeah, Evan Ingram came out, Pat, and said that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows those 2 guys are gone.
Yeah. Evan Ingram especially. Get the heck off the
Evan
team.
Ingram's gone. Shepard's gone.
I mean, man.
How long was Kyle Rudolph's contract? Is it 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
I guarantee you that he's gonna be cut after this year.
Who?
Well, his contract's over after.
Well, this off season.
I think they cut him this off season.
Yeah, they
The only split in the locker room are the guys bitching because those are the ones that got benched or O'Shane Zimenez or somebody else that's disgruntled because they're not getting player time. But the guys that are going out there playing are all that's the split.
Yeah.
Rudolph says he came here because he liked what Joe Judge represented. He liked what Joe Judge brought to the table. That's why he signed it. You could say it was a bag of money. $6 million a year is not a bag of money. I'm not sneezing at $6 million, but you look at what some of these other guys are getting.
Right.
That's peanuts.
Especially if we lose Ingram, we're going to need somebody.
Oh.
Well, this might be interesting to you, Joe. There's a piece on Ryan Poles saying the importance of working hand in hand with the coaching staff. He just put a piece out about him saying that. Talking Giants got it up, but I guess he's said it in the past, and I think you might want to read that. You like going into things like that. You can read it. If you want. That's even more things. If that report is good, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Ryan Poles guy. I really do. Not saying any other candidates wouldn't be good, but I think Ryan Poles fits us the best because I think he fills 2 needs at one time. He knows the whole scouting issue. The whole scouting issue, I think he can fix that because he's been at every single level of scouting. He knows the bottom all the way to the top on how to do the job because he's been promoted from each position. So obviously he's doing something good to get promoted that many times. Every time that he ran something with the organization with scouting, he was promoted according to that resume. And also, if he wants to work hand in hand with the coaching staff, that's 2 birds with 1 stone. You got somebody that knows how to recruit, and you got somebody that's willing to listen. So in my point of view, if Joe Judge likes somebody, we got a GM that could get in there, that could get this guy assessed, and he could go back to Joe Judge and tell him, hey, you might not want this guy because he doesn't do this as well as you thought that he did. Or, yeah, Joe Judge, you're on to something. I think this guy can do exactly what you need him to do. And I think that's major. I really do. Because if you got 2 guys that are putting ideas off each other like that all the time, that's a damn good combination. I want a power run game. I think we should get this offensive guard here. Well, let me look into him. What do you need him to do? You want him to be able to do this? Well, I looked at that. He doesn't do it as well as you think he does, Joe Judge. But you did tell me you want that, so I got this guy here. I want you to compare these two guys, and you tell me which one that you like most. Yeah, I really do like the other guy that you brought over, man. Let's go with him. If he's there, let's take him. But this guy's smart enough to know to have backup options. If his first guy's taken, I think he's smart enough to have a second guy that can come in and know the ins and outs of him too. That's what the draft game is about, at least in my eyes. You find the guys that you like, and then you find guys that are comparable to what you like, because if that guy's picked, you got to have a backup plan. You can't just be scrambling around like crazy because the guy that you like has been picked. If you like Linderbaum and what he does, let's go in this draft class and see if there's anybody else that can do half or 75% of what Linderbaum can do. And is that acceptable for what we need on this team to get to where we need to go? If it's cool, let's put him on the board. If not, is Linderbaum a bust? And if we can't get Linderbaum, let's go to another part of the team that we need, and let's get some people there because we may be able to pick that person right there at that pick. This is not, the draft is not something that you just go into and just look at people that look good on highlights and hope that you can get one of them, because you're always going to fail. You got to have a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan. If you like a certain linebacker, you find two more linebackers that can fill that role just like he does at a different level. And if that's acceptable to the team and you think that can help the team, you take them if that person is picked. And then you got to know when this guy could be picked. Who's looking at him? Who's looking at this guy that we like? Because if we have to move up in front of him to take him, then that's something that we got to do. This draft game is vicious, man. And if you got scouts that aren't prepared, guess what? You get 10 years of drafting of trash. So you continue to go on these drafts thinking, oh, I can just take best person available. Man, it's more than just looking at highlights, man. It's looking at film, bro. You got to look at film on these guys like you're an actual player. At least that's what I do. If I know I like Ikem Ekwonu, and I know that he's a road grader at right tackle, but he could go in the top 10, and maybe we consider a quarterback at number 5, and he's going to be gone by the next time we pick. So guess what? I'm lining up 3 or 4 more right tackles to see what they do, and I'm asking my head coach, what can you work with at right tackle? Because I have Ekwonu, I have this guy, I have this guy. They all do what you asked me to do. Which guy do you think does what you need him to do the best? And then you go on from there. The job is not done then, because now you got to look to see if anybody else likes him. That's why scouting is so important. And I think this guy helps out a whole lot with that. I'm dead serious. That's one of the most things we need the most in health. A training staff and health. That's what we need the most. Well, I mean, a new scouting department in health. My bad. I know I'm worried about the wrong thing. I know I'm worried about scouting is the wrong thing. I understand that. I know that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I know that worrying about scouting is the wrong thing, but we've been complaining about drafts for the past 10 years. I know I'm wrong about that.
Right.
I know I can't make a hypothetical. I can't put a certain scenario in there. I know you took it to heart. Tim, what's going on? I said, I understand why Judge was kept. He was never given a fair chance. Garrett was forced on him to give Judge 1 more year with the offensive coordinator he wants and a chance to rebuild this offensive line.
There you go.
That's all I've been saying. Everybody keeps saying that we need to clear house. We need to clear house. We need to clear house. But then on the other hand, you say, I want to win now. You can't have both, bro. You can't have both. What's going on, Tim? And I like when people tell me that what I was just saying is nonsense. I know. Me talking about a guy that can fill 2 positions at once in my head, a drafting, a scouting department that's failed us for what, Joe? Almost 14 years now.
Oh, more than that. But scouting don't matter.
I talk about a training staff where we've been the most injured teams, probably one of the most injured teams, probably 5 years out of the last 6. What's going on, Ralph?
Hey, Big Pat, Joel, Sean, Mike, and Super Tatch. How's it going?
What up, Ralph?
I'm very good.
What's going on, Ralph?
Not too much, but well, I'm just getting delusional with the Panthers, and right now it pissed me off that Matt Rule is head off for another year. It's because we had another year from Matt Rule, but yes. But they're looking for an offensive coordinator. And there's another sources that, it might be going to search from any teams like Los Angeles Rams, but I'm not very sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, the Matt Rule situation is closer to the Joe Judge situation than you really think. But
not worse.
I like to ask Sean because he's to the panel every once in a while. I always like having him on. He always comes with his own opinions, and he doesn't back down off his opinions either. If you're still there, do you think what I was explaining with the whole poll situation, how that can fill 2 spots? What I know it meant nonsense to True Love, but what do you think I was talking about right there?
I mean, I think what you're talking about is ultimately the process, right? Again, these teams build boards, right? They don't, unless you have the first pick in the draft, you have to build a board, and I mean a real strong board. And your board has to, you grade guys. You say, hey, here are the positions we're looking to fill. Here's the grades we have on each of these guys, and depending on how the board falls, you might have 3 or 4 receivers that you're looking at in the draft. And I'm just using receivers as an example. And you say, these 3 or 4 guys we really think can fit in this team. But I would also add to what you're saying, we also think these 3 or 4 receivers bring a unique skill set that even if they don't fit what we do, we're going to figure out a way to fit in what they do. Because that's part of the process. So I do think there's a lot of validity to what you said. But also, again, I think about it from this standpoint, organizationally, are you an organization that says, hey, we can spend money in free agency every year because that's what we do? Or you're an organization that says, hey, we don't care about draft picks, we'll trade them away to get established players like the Rams? Or are you an organization that 90% of your roster is dependent on how you draft and how well you do in undrafted free agency? And if you fall in that number, then you definitely better do what you were talking about, Pat, which is you got to have 4 or 5 guys at each position that you say, if we get one of these guys, we're good. I tell people all the time, 10 years ago when the Falcons traded up to get Julio Jones, they didn't want Julio Jones.
Hey, Steven.
They wanted A.J. Green.
Yes.
But once they realized A.J. Green was going to be gone, they said, hey, you know what? We are good with Julio Jones. And it worked out well, obviously, for him. So that's the process. That's what, people do need to understand. So I agree with you, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to run. I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I asked you the question. I'm glad you brought that up. There's different ways to run organizations.
Yep.
Just because I want to run an organization one way, which you already pointed out, I'm a 90% draft guy and giving free agents at certain places that I know that will help us.
Yep.
Because if I build this team and then the one weak point is the place that we didn't draft, say if that free agent comes in to fill that point, I think that's how you build dynasties.
Right.
I think that's how you build dynasty. I think that's how you build a team that wins consistently.
Right.
I think that's how you can let players go and still be good because you've drafted right behind them. Yeah, I got a Bradbury, but I also got an Aaron Robinson right behind him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if Bradbury goes to free agency, he asking for that bag, and I'm not willing to give anybody a bag. Guess what? My homeboy right behind him He can come in and fill that spot just fine. And guess what? After Aaron Robinson takes over that spot in the next couple of drafts, I'm drafting his replacement if I have to get his replacement.
Oh man, I got
It's a bit, and I know that's kind of a asshole way if you want to call it that. But you got to know this is a business, $1 billion business. Yeah. So you got to make moves to keep yourself afloat.
To your point, Pat. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say, and to that point, you know that if your organization that's not willing to pay 110% price for a player that's only 80%, meaning that you're paying A+ money for a player that's only a B, that's the way I would go about it. 90% draft.
Yeah. Oh God, Pat, I got a rebuttal here for a hot topic. Hot topic. I gotta get the panel's opinion in this. This is on NFL Rumors from NewJersey.com.
Oh my God.
The title of it, NFL Rumors hyphen ex-Jets GM calls for Giants to trade for Seahawks Russell Wilson. Now let me read some of this.
Oh.
Former New York Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum, yeah, he's got lots of rings, joined ESPN's Get Up on Friday and explained why the New York Giants should trade for Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks. It's a transformable event. The day he walks in that building, the groundskeeper's better, the donuts taste better, and when we traded for Brett Favre with the Jets, it changed everything overnight. And I'm telling you, when you think about Tom Brady, not only was he great on the field, but he was great off the field in terms of this aura of association. It becomes a force multiplier and changes the New York Giants instantly. Ryan Clark's rebuttal.
Man.
If he goes to New York, it's simply to be a superstar away from the field. It's to set him and Claire up for whatever entertainment pieces, for whatever clothing lines they want to launch, for however many times they want to go to the Met Gala. That way he can be there because he won't be in Seattle preparing to play football games. That's the only reason that he's going to decide to be in New York. It will not be for football. Yes, when Brett Favre got to New York, it changed everything but your Super Bowl opportunities. And that would be the exact same thing that happens. I don't care if your groundskeeper was better. I don't care if the janitor was better. I don't care if the cafeteria food was better. The team was not Super Bowl caliber, and that's all that matters. It will be the same thing if Russell Wilson goes to New York and becomes a Giant, end quote.
Yeah, because that Jets team didn't make the playoffs.
For everybody that wanted Russell Wilson, are you going to poo-poo on Ryan Clark?
I have no comments because that was shocking. I have no comments. So
if I remember, guys, that Jets team didn't even make the playoffs because they lost. They didn't. And then Brett Favre was traded again to the. I mean, he left and came back again to the Vikings, wasn't he? And the Vikings was a ready-made team. The Vikings was a ready-made team.
And there were reports that the guys in the locker room didn't really care for Brett Favre. And it was because he dressed, he had like a separate, he dressed separately from them, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know, not to mention when he sent the penis pic to the reporter, Jen, what's her name? So, you know,
that wasn't
to be.
That wasn't brought up in the discussion, Ash. We were talking about Russell Wilson to the New York Giants. We weren't talking about anything else. That was not the topic of discussion at the time. You want a new topic? We can talk about this one. But right now we're talking about Russell Wilson to the Giants.
But that's like something similar me and Joe said, that whole Jet situation with Brett Favre. Everybody thought Brett Favre was going to bring them to the promised land, and he didn't even make the playoffs with them.
Right.
And then a year after that, he went to the Vikings and went to the NFC Championship game because they were a ready-made team.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe,
that's the whole point. That's the whole point I'm bringing with Russell Wilson. Just because I say, hey, that might not be the best decision doesn't mean I'm poo-pooing on Russell Wilson. I told you the guy is a Hall of Famer because he is. Just like Brett Favre was a Hall of Famer. But he went to a situation that Jets team was terrible. And yes, he did make them pretty good. But they weren't even good enough to make the playoffs. And then you bring a guy here like a Russell Wilson, you're looking at playoffs and Super Bowls. That's what you bring a guy Russell Wilson around for. I can't put that in you guys' head more. You're going to want to make the playoffs in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. And I just don't think that can happen with us, even with Russell Wilson.
I would think most Giants fans would, even the most, hated, the Giants fans who hate the Cowgirls the most would admit that the Cowgirls are probably the best team in the division in terms of talent.
Yeah.
So the question is, does Russell Wilson, added to your current roster, close the gap so much that you think you overtake Dallas as the best team in the division?
No.
Nah.
No.
I don't think so. I still don't think
the
we'd be better
needs.
than Dallas.
Not with the needs, the cap room.
Not with the needs and the cap situation.
Right.
Because the little bit of cap room that you created goes to Russ.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Who's going to want a new deal, by the way.
Right. And that's why I kept telling you guys that you're going to have to be perfect in the draft because we have so many holes. And then you're losing draft capital bringing them here.
And then all
so
the
you
money
may lose
straight
two
to
of those first-round picks that you have in the next 2 years.
Right.
So if you don't hit on your first, second, and fourth this year, and they're probably going to have to be all offensive linemen. They're probably going to have to be all offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing with a very, very, very dangerous game if you get him in. You're playing a very dangerous
Yes,
game.
I do, Rick. Yes, I do make candy.
Yeah, I just think it's a terrible proposition if the Giants do that.
Yeah, same. Just like Rocky said, why would he want to come here in the same situation that he's already in?
The same situation.
It might be worse.
I think it might be worse because
right.
because of organizational instability.
Because organization and stability is one, and I think he got better weapons over there at DK Metcalf and Lockett. I think his offensive line is a little bit better than over there too. Yeah. I think his tight end is a little bit better.
Yeah, and to be clear, Russell Wilson is not this A+ quarterback that the media makes him out to be. He has flaws.
Right. He does.
And one of his flaws is that tendency to hold on to the ball way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not throw guys open, and he doesn't always throw with anticipation. He throws a beautiful deep ball. He can make some plays off script, but he's flawed. So if he comes to your team, and you see him every week, you're going to see those flaws come out because he is who he is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if he holds on to the ball too long with this offensive line, he's going to get killed.
If he holding the ball too long, it tends to take sacks a lot.
Yeah.
Per Art Stapleton.
Sean, I remember you said that at one of the shows we used to go to. I remember you said that.
Art Stapleton, 21 seconds ago, the Giants have signed 8 players to reserve futures contracts. Quarterback Lewerke, linebacker Trent Harris, linebacker Omari Cobb, offensive tackle Devery Hamilton, tight end Jake Hossman, defensive tackle David Moa, defensive end outside linebacker Nico Lalos, and wide receiver Travis Toivonen.
I know Lalos. I know Moa is a good guy.
I know.
Those are camp bodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's all that I have right now.
But yeah, that Russell, like we got killed for that too. When I think about it,
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying Russell Wilson wouldn't? I'm telling you right now, no, we're not winning the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson unless it just goes completely right.
I don't even know if we win the division with Russell Wilson because you got the Cowboys.
Shit, if we make the playoffs, like I said, this guy's gonna have to be Jesus and cleats.
Yeah, and
Right.
and Saquon's gonna have to be beast mode 2.0.
Right.
What if you don't win with this guy and this guy? Because you're gonna have to pay this guy in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, he would take a pay cut. Says who?
Right.
Why would I come to the Giants
Wait,
to
hold
take
on.
a
Have y'all
pay
met his
cut?
wife? He ain't taking no pay cut.
That's how many people out here are willing to take a pay cut to stay with your employer?
Why
Are you
would
gonna-
I go to? Why would I go to a team that's worse than the team that I'm with now and take a pay cut?
He's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, but you gotta look at the bigger picture of it.
Yes, and to be clear, Russell Wilson has been clear he wants to stay in Seattle. The team has been clear they want to keep Russell Wilson. So all these talking heads who are saying, "Oh, Russell Wilson," he has a no trade clause. He's been clear he wants to stay. The team has been clear they want to keep him.
Right.
The only way I think they move him is if it just becomes so untenable that both sides say we got to part ways, and neither side seems there yet.
Not
Oh, look at me. I'm in the media. I said Russell Wilson was leaving. I was
Pete
the first
Carroll,
one to tweet it. Look at me. I'm famous.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he
Bullshit.
knows the grass ain't always greener. He ain't stupid.
But that baffles me. Oh, Russell, he could take a pay cut. Tom Brady, that's Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's wife is worth $500 million.
Right.
He can do that.
Tom Brady's the face of the league. Oh yeah, he took a pay cut to you guys, but behind closed doors, I guarantee Robert Kraft breaking him off a piece of that organization. I guarantee Tom Brady's gonna have a piece of the Patriots when he retires. I put money on it. There's no way that dude's making it up to somehow. He's making that money up somehow because he's not just gonna take less money just to take less money. And I'm winning Super Bowls like that? Nah.
Listen, Tom Brady's still playing so he can prove that his TB12 method works. So he can market it to athletes who are coming up that want to play for as long as he did at as high level as he did. That's
And
the
he
only
will
reason
be
why
a
he's still
billionaire in
playing.
no time.
Exactly.
He will be a billionaire in no time.
Tom Brady is tired of being the second highest paid person in his house. He's trying to be a billionaire.
Right. All right. Where's your source, Ash? He says, seeing that Joe Judge has plans to meet with the team, but a lot of players decline to attend.
What?
Where's the source? Who said it?
I saw where he's with Mara right now. That's the only one that I saw.
I saw that.
And that was Yates or Schefter, one of the two.
I think it was either Schefter or Zach Rosenberg, whatever his name is.
Oh, Rosenblatt. Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, Rosenblatt.
It was one of those guys.
Rosenblatt reported it.
I think. I can't remember that he was
It may have
meeting
been,
with Mara right now.
Oh,
one of the Giants beat reporters.
Now,
Yeah.
I know there's been reports that that Joe Judge won't be forced on a new GM. That's for sure. That's legit. So Joe Judge is safe for now. But if they bring in a new GM and they don't like him and they like that GM more, Joe Judge may be gone, which will hurt them in the head coaching search.
Yeah, which means they're gonna have to hire that new GM sooner than later.
Right. They're gonna have to hire that GM now. Oh, you just saying what you seen? Okay. I was gonna say
what's the source?
What's the source that says that's true? So I can't believe that's true unless somebody like Rappaport or Josina Anderson, somebody that gets all the information, Schefter and all those guys.
Yeah, especially with all the shit coming out that, even after Jay Glazer, it's 25% chance he's only going to be here.
Now, a lot of times that Jay Glazer dude is right, but
he is not going to.
He might have fell victim of of the Joe Judge thing because that's hot right now. New
It
York
is.
media, that's hot. Joe
Yes.
Judge being fired, boy, that's hot on the stove right now. Everybody want a piece
Yeah,
of
it is.
that.
Right, you guy in Tampa Bay doesn't even know anything that's going on up here. The Tampa Bay beat reporter that posted it. Hearing through friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like the whole report, like where are these like I don't get it, man. I don't
All
get
these
it, man.
reports that you see on
All
Twitter,
these
like
reports of players not wanting to play for him and all that. Where's that coming from?
who? Who are the players?
I promise you, that's not what you see on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
The players would have been coming out by now. And
Now you can make jokes about them getting their ass whooped all the time. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But what you do see on that field is a team that's trying to play. They're just not talented. They're just not talented, dude.
They do
I'm
play
telling you.
hard though, just
Right.
not good enough.
Like that's some of the so yeah. I was talking to Joe early on the phone, man. I've heard some of the weirdest things. Why is Jake Fromm on the field playing? You could have got another quarterback the last week of the season.
I don't get that one. I don't understand that one.
To spend money on another quarterback in the last week of the season.
Even other than that, Taj, what quarterback will come in the last week of the season and ball out? That hasn't been with the organization at all this year. Doesn't know the playbook. You see how bad Jake Fromm looked knowing 60% of the playbook. So you want somebody to come in and knows 3% of the playbook and ball out the last week?
I don't know, man.
I get the frustration. I'm not happy. Never once have I said I'm happy with this. But people take it that way, I guess.
Like when Jake Fromm started that Eagles game in the first half of that game, you mean like he was like what 6 or 17 with 25 yards.
Some of the worst football you'll see.
Right.
Yeah, man. I just felt like that he should have started the second half and not the first half. Maybe would have been a bit better.
We might because I'll say this: if we trade down and get more picks for next year, Joe Judge might have been told another thing too.
Right.
He might have been told, "Hey, you show any progress this year, you're coming back again." All right,
right.
well, I'll trade back then. Get some more
right.
picks this year.
Right.
I promise you, the Giants will be the first team in the draft to trade down. I promise you that.
Not going to hurt my feelings at all.
Andrew Luck looks like he's going to be going to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Good for him.
Oh, hey.
Good for him.
Do y'all remember Rashawn Salam? Turned out to be a horrible bust for the Bears.
Yeah, I remember Shalom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, the Bears had a good time drafting running backs during that time. Drafted Curtis Enos, Rashawn Salam.
Man.
And the one guy that nobody give a damn about, Raymond Harris, turned out to be the best one out of the three. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm glad we got this stream. We got to say our piece. Hopefully, everybody's still not, wanting to tear our heads off, even if we still are. That's okay. Yeah, Cedric Benson. Good Lord, Bears had a tough time drafting running back. But I'll continue to say my piece, and I can continue to come with logic on things. I know there's always two sides to every coin, man. I promise you it is. You hear one story, there's another story that can always going to come right behind it. That's why I don't pay attention to media. Because the media is really just going to tell you what they want you to know. What's hot right now.
All that bullshit.
Yeah, I've never been a guy to follow trends, man, because that always gets you messed up.
I know this is a Giant stream, but just a quick question. Anybody got any potential upsets they see this weekend?
49ers beat Dallas. I truly believe the 49ers are going to get that.
Yeah, I could see that.
If they could beat the Rams.
I think they beat Dallas, and if it's some miracle, they get to play the Rams the next round. Y'all might see damn Jimmy G in the NFC Championship game again, and that's gonna be funny as hell.
Yeah,
Jimmy damn G.
Oh my God, people! Oh,
Jimmy motherfucking G.
no, somebody here posted on Twitter, NFL memes. Breaking news: the Dolphins are hiring Urban Meyer. Oh my God! Oh, people have too
Rodney,
much.
if the Eagles lose, that's not an upset. Everybody expect the Buccaneers to kick their ass this weekend.
Oh my God! Then they got another one here. They got the Chiefs and the Steelers. They're calling it the TikTok Bowl. Mahomes' brother and Juju and Chase.
Oh my God.
What if those dudes find a way to beat the Chiefs? What a hell of a story that would be.
Oh man!
If they win a playoff this game this year, you might want to put Black Tomlin in the Hall of Fame right now.
Right now.
Like, how the
And for
hell
Big
did
Ben's
Pittsburgh
last year,
sneak
the
in there,
same.
man? Because Big Ben is washed.
Oh,
Like, he got this dude in the playoffs in his last year of his career. That's crazy.
oh my God! That's funny. Oh.
Oh, well, I got.
Damn Chargers, man.
Oh man, I'm sorry. NFL Mimi's got another one. They got a short clip that says hopefully 2022 will be better. The first video clip they got up there, this guy punches another one right in the tank. Oh my God. Oh, people have too much time on their hands. Way too much. It killed me. Sometimes Twitter can be funny. I'm not gonna lie.
and that is always undefeated.
Right.
Twitter fingers.
Well, fellas, it's almost been 3 hours. Do you guys have any last words about anything?
Just I'm gonna be doing the college football playoff game tonight on my channel.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Make sure y'all tune in.
Appreciate you guys for having me on as usual, man.
Yes, sir,
Oh
Sean.
man, anytime, Sean, man. Anytime you feel like
Right.
coming on, bro, you're more than welcome, man. We might need some new people anyway.
Right.
Man, it's bad out here in these streets for us, man.
Oh man.
But
Yeah,
man, thank you guys for coming on, man. Tyz, you know you always support, bro.
Yes,
You know
sir.
you always welcome to come on. Marco, if you're still watching, thank you for tuning in. Ash, Rodney, Steve, man, bunch of guys, man. There's a bunch of guys. Nate, little Nate, Logan,
Lamar.
Yep, Lamar.
Rick.
Eddie Buckets. Yep, Rick.
BBK.
Man, a lot of people that come in here. Yep.
True Love.
BBK.
Jeffrey.
Yep. AJ Sports. Boston Sports Report. A bunch of people,
Wales.
man.
Nate.
Yep, Wales.
Mark P.
we
Appreciate it,
will,
guys.
Ash.
Really do. Mike Nixon.
Hey,
Mike
Tim.
Nixon.
You can come on the stream tonight with Joe on the championship game. The link will be in the chat. You just click it on if you wanted to come on. If Joe, unless Joe, you just wanted to be me and you call the game.
I'm almost wondering about that, Pat, with everything going on. You know, it is the college football final game of the year. It's the big one, Georgia, Alabama. It should be a good game. I'm almost thinking I'm just going to send you the link. That way we don't have to worry about talking Giants football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, want it to be a college stream.
Okay.
So,
well, since it's like that, Tim, click the link that I just sent in the chat. Click the link.
Yeah, we'll go on for another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, click the link, and you should be able to come in.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and head out, man. I will catch you guys later, man.
All right.
Sean.
Ash, come on, you can talk anytime.
Hey, y'all too, brother.
I just don't want it. I just don't want it to blow up into a Giants argument again. We need some.
Yeah, we gotta talk about something else, man.
Right. we need some tranquility in our lives a little bit.
I actually think this football playoff is going to be a damn good game.
I do too.
Right, because we got the playoffs coming up.
I still got to make the banner for that.
Hey Tim, if you're coming on, I need you to come on now before I shut it down.
Right.
But the link that I just put in the chat, you click that link, you come on.
Let your camera, allow your camera and your mic, and you'll be sitting right here with us.
Oh man, that was a good stream though, bro.
It wasn't bad. I just
argument.
He's at work. He's gonna wait.
Okay, all right, Tim. Well, guys, Joe, I'll see you in a couple of hours. I think the game started 7?
I think so.
8 o'clock.
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Well, I'll see you in a couple of hours time. I always thank you for your support, bro. I think you sent me my first Cash App, as a matter of fact. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
So
I sent you $20.
We got the Joe Judge clown interviews out the way. You guys may not be stuck with him because reports out that the Giants will not force him on the new GM if the new GM does not like him.
Right.
But it's kind of conflicting that he's actually there meeting with them.
Right.
So you may be talking about the GM. So who knows what's going on. But as of now, you're stuck with clown Joe Judge. Joke Judge, as you call him.
They say.
Yep.
Joke Judge is still here for the time being, and we'll see what happens. I think we'll know our answer by Wednesday or Thursday. A complete answer. And I want the guy Pose from Kansas City to be our next GM. I think he fills 2 positions at once, and he comes with an impressive resume. An impressive resume, I have to say. And I like it a lot. But, Joe, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, man. Just peace out. Join me tonight. Let's see what's going to happen here with the Giants. It's going to be an important couple of weeks coming up. We got playoff football. We can actually watch some good games and not really have any. We can talk football instead of just talking about Giants. We still got a little bit left. We're going to miss it. Pat's got some plans here. USFL is going to kick off. He's going to get some of those athletes on the stream, man. Make sure you tune in, folks. We got some stuff planned. Love college basketball. We're going to be doing March Madness. So the month of March is going to be really busy for me and Pat. I mean, we're going to probably be putting in 12, 14-hour day streams back to back to back. Because we enjoy doing this and we enjoy watching sports. And if we're going to watch it, why not do it right here and have y'all join us? Jump in the chat, talk to us. Come on screen with us. Yeah, we ain't shy about anything. Right. No, that's about it, Pat. Just make sure you stay tuned. We got some stuff organized.
But until the next episode, which will be in a couple of hours, from Big Pat Sports Talk, which is me,
Smoke Screen,
with Joe, and Super Ties. You already know what it is. Smoke Screen. Let's get it.